and age. This is a matchup full of players that have been through Dota for years and years and years. And, well, in this matchup anyway, we're going to see fresh Liquid, fresh Xtreme, a little bit different rosters than, say, their peaks of winning TI and being TI finalists in the hands of Xtreme. But they've been kind of rough lately. And now they have to go through the gauntlet of this survival phase and to make it through the playoffs in the first place. I mean, Avery, they have to win this, and then they have to go match up against Spirit after this.
Going to be a tough road to those finals for both of these squads, though I do think both these squads have shown they can be one of those teams that makes the run. They have that kind of history of, you know, gaining a little experience, gaining a little momentum, one series, one game at a time, and finding their oomph in a tournament overall. So I'm not going to count either of these out. In fact, I'd probably give them the dark horse status of the tournament from this survival stage.
As in, whatever team makes it through here is likely to have a lot of momentum.
Exactly. If one of these makes it, they're going to be a strong competitor. You just got to get over that hump. So we'll see who comes out on top of this series. Excited to get a BO3 after all those BO2s as well. If it goes to Game 3, could be very spicy.
Get a definitive answer of who's actually better as a team right now.
And we have a very cool draft game one. XG going back to their roots. Strong team fight. Team fight controlling hero for NTS, XXS with a lane counter pick and some scale. This is kind of their archetype that has worked for them, particularly in their TI run. And then you get like that last pick for Ame, and he can kind of have his choice of whatever comfort hero he wants. If he gets an option to play the Clinks, he will usually play the Clinks. He loves that hero. Nobody knows why, but he loves it.
So both teams have had to improve on some way. Which team do you think has done a better job drafting for themselves now compared to the groups?
This Liquid draft tells me they sat down, they looked at what heroes were working for them, which are converting the games to wins instead of just maybe looking good, and they went that direction, particularly this Ember Centaur. I think both Ember and Centaur have looked like S-tier picks this event, and they got 2 premier cores, and that was with the first pick Shadow Fiend.
Yes.
Which obviously, yeah, Shadow Fiend's going to do Shadow things, but to me it's the other 2 cores. They got some premier picks here. I almost don't even really care what the supports play on Liquid as long as they're feeling it and can make moves. I think that's when they shine. I think Liquid is a team where I don't need to see Boxy on a particular hero. I don't need to see Tofu on a particular hero. I just need to see them making moves, playing fast, connecting to plays. If they feel like they have those options available, 9 times out of 10, they're going to convert on those in a successful manner. They just have to be able to get that opportunity.
The panel talked about something similar in that Liquid is drafting much more to the meta for EWC. But is there, I feel like you would, if they were doing something completely original, you would be supporting them being like, hey, they're doing their own ideas instead of chasing the meta, right? Like, isn't this some of Liquid? Aren't they just chasing what's good right now, not necessarily leading it?
Maybe there's some argument in that. I don't think that's the worst thing to do in an elimination match like this when you're trying to build something, though.
Okay.
I also think maybe a lot of their own ideas just didn't work. Like, you're going to scrim with these things, you're going to play some series. If they fail, you have to make a call. Do we stick with them, or do we just try and move on and play more of the meta? And the meta looks pretty defined right now.
Sure.
So I don't mind this. Like, I don't look at any of these Liquid picks and be like, why are they picking this hero? And particularly this Nisha Ember. I feel like this is his best hero right now in terms of the hero-player meta combination overall. This is a really scary thing to give to Liquid. It can build so much momentum. It's rare he's going to lose the lane unless you really cheese pick him. And it enables their support duo. It enables the fast gameplay. It almost doesn't matter what happens to this guy in the first 10 minutes. He's going to bring that mid-game Liquid's way. You have to be prepared for that. And that's a big question in this game. One, especially for Xtreme Gaming, do you have the tools to deal with this Ember? Because if he runs the gauntlet here, and then you have to go into that game too, and his ban priority goes up, you might not have all the bans to be able to deal with him. So this is a big moment for XG in this series in terms of dealing with this hero specifically. Do you have the staying power on the battlefield to do that? I like the Shaker pick. I like the Hoodwink, low cooldown stun against him. I think they might have some damage follow-up problems in the early portion of that mid-game, but they do have a lot of scaling damage here, so it looks okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird meta to meta. Like, Ember Spirit's builds change so often. Right now, it's maxing out Flame Guard that some heroes are good against one version of Ember and not the others. Nisha is going to be ganked up, so not only do they counterpick him with the Earthshaker to get a lane-winning matchup, but now they're also moving both supports to shut down this Ember Spirit. I mean, I like it. As you said, we've seen these Ember Spirits just pop the hell off. It is definitely one of the heroes of the tournament, so anything that you can do to keep it down, I'm all for.
That's some serious hate. Nice timing, though. The 4-minute Water Rune, he's still level 4. You only have 2 points in the Flame Guard instead of potentially 3. So when he's a little more susceptible to these early nukes, I like that rotation from XG.
Well, so what were you really doing in the side lanes? You're not probably going to beat this SF Witch Doctor lane, and the other lane, Centaur has already picked up his Helm of Iron Will, so it's about that time where Ace is going to be free farming. So, honestly, your best attention is going to be to that mid lane. Darkseer's just going to be jungling away at this point. XXS knows that he can't really play into the SF Witch Doctor, especially solo.
The Centaur can die down here if you want to bring the Hoodwink, as Liquid are going to try and leave Ace alone.
Courier.
Moxie roaming into mid, trying to get something done.
Got the bushwhack on him. Cogs pushing back, nothing to say. Ooh, managed to hit the stun on Nisha, max range, and it gets the kill as a result. Nisha dead again.
That's a rough death. Still had only 2 points in the Flame Guard, trying to hold, or he got the skill point at the end, so he kind of dies similar way twice to the Shaker counter pick, and now you're going to be level 6 on NTS. Way before the Ember, you have a chance to just all in with an Echo Slam here. We'll see if XG bring more numbers and look for the 3rd kill on the Ember in this early game.
Yeah, what do you do if you, like, Ember Spirit isn't going to go jungle, right, to get his level 6? So you kind of have to put yourself out there to potentially get all-in again.
And he has to TV back into the lane. So you're very scared right now about this all-in potential. And we see Liquid bringing both supports towards the 6-minute power rune. Again, this is a lot of committal.
And you get the right rune here for nothing to say, something like a haste rune or something. This could be dangerous. Boxy will protect it with the cogs. The other side, it'll be an amp damage. Or sorry, Boxy grabs the amp damage.
Would have been a big rune for both these guys at the early game, but at least you take it away from NTS. Still wary of the 3 points in the Aftershock with the Echo Slam, all in the Ember here if the shield's down.
Tofu making a little jaunt there into the enemy triangle, seeing if they got too many stacks going on here.
Always wary about that injection for the Earthshaker.
There's that Echo. Nisha is not going to die. In fact, nothing to say had that read a little off, but maybe they could still chase him down here. Vex Nova or the Bushwhack, select dodge on the Bushwhack. The stun doesn't land either. Nisha's still making a run for it. He has a Fairy Fire, gets up to the high ground, can bottle hit. Stampede goes off, and nothing to say. Well, he could Fisher, but it's too late. The bottle heal has already gone off. Meanwhile, the Stampede extra movement speed to chase away XXS from that top lane. If they are going to put all this attention on the Ember Spirit, Mickey is doing a good job of putting pressure elsewhere, almost taking this off-lane tower already and securing the Wisdom Shrine.
That's a huge win for Liquid. They keep the Ember alive, Echo on cooldown, win Wisdom Shrines. Just a miscommunication there from XG. Like, that should not be a kill they lose with both supports heading into mid, but they're late to the party when the Echo goes out.
Yep.
And then you get dragged in that committal. You're not fighting Wisdom Shrines against a weaker enemy mid, and now you lose your tier 1 off lane. Really strange sequence for Xtreme Gaming considering they were stronger on the map and they lost every objective in that time period. Nice
it's just one of those clear mix of incentives, right? The support,
for sure,
they want their Wisdom Shrine. They think, oh, we got to protect that. Nothing to say. It's like, I want to kill Nisha again. Let's kill this guy.
I think his call was the correct one. I think it's okay to give up the Shrine if you get another Ember kill, but you needed to get 2 out of those 3 objectives, not 0 out of 3.
Right.
I think Liquid were kind of like, well, let's try and get something here, and they ended up getting it all. And it's great for them.
Oh, look at this move from Ame. And Fisher actually blocking him away, but Ame, he kind of wants him to be here. He said, I made this rotation, this power rune is supposed to be a bait for me, but...
Can definitely see the adjustment from Xtreme Gaming in terms of prioritizing the mid lane, fighting for the runes, not just throwing NTS to the wolves. That was a huge deal in some of their other series.
Oh yeah, his like puck game, nothing to say.
That was brutal.
Nothing in that one.
So this is going to bode a lot better for them over the course of the series, just this macro adjustment.
It does mean our supports are going to be very low level on both sides. Even with double wisdoms being picked up for Liquid, Boxy is level 3.
Gave all that solo XP to the Centaur. So a little payoff for Ace. He is fairly farmed. Level 7.5, Helm done. He's cruising here. There's another Echo for the big Ancient stack. Push NTS close to that Blink Dagger, is about 200 off.
I mean, it wasn't a super stacked Ancients, just because there was so much play in this triangle, they couldn't really stack it multiple times. We even saw the high ground ward being placed by FY to try and protect this area.
And the biggest story here is Mickey, absolute free farm, first pick Shadow Fiend. Empty lane up top, 80 last hits. He is pretty damn fat here. If he gets involved in this early game at all, which might be a possibility with Stampede and the Ember going in first, he can absolutely join a lot of these fights. they don't have a great answer for him here in the early game. You're kind of looking to scale into this SF with some of the Darkseer wall illusions, the Clink's late game. Maybe Wyvern lands a curse, but this spell's not too reliable nowadays. I would like to see Mickey get involved in some of these early kills. If Liquid can set up the fights and he can be the last man joining them, he should clean house.
Ame's got an interesting build. I know there's probably only 5 other Clinks players out there in the world that care about this, but there's been this weird, like, what do you build early on as Clinks? Do you build the Falcon Blade? Do you build a Soul Ring? Ame was a big proponent of the Soul Ring a couple months ago, but he's actually just gone double Sage's Mask. No item at all, just double Sage's Mask and rush the Deso.
The poor man's Soul Ring, some might say.
Very much so.
Sage Mask, probably the most efficient mana regen item in the game, and the one you don't mind selling back the most. So if he can get enough sustain out of this, I don't mind this build-up. Would like to also see him get involved in this game right when that Deso comes out. I don't like the Ame Clinks games where he gets Deso and he's just in the jungle for another 10 minutes.
Yeah. We've definitely seen Clinks' prioritize Aghanim Scepter, so it does feel like we're trying to utilize Clinks a bit more team fight. And there is so much team fight on Xtreme Gaming. Vacuum Echo Slam is going to be brutal for Liquid if they don't play team fights correctly. Look at this bottom lane push. Ame's going to take this tower. And Liquid don't even try and put up a fight for it. They just say, whatever, we just farm.
I think Ace was strong enough to stand there. Maybe just worried about where this Shaker is off the map. NTS was in jungle for a while there.
Yeah, especially since he's got a lot of unreliable gold, as he almost has the Ring of Taras complete, so.
Concede a little bit here. Make sure he gets that next round of items. Still just looking at this net worth chart. Nisha's not getting a lot here, man. He can't stand mid. He's not getting a lot of the jungle priority. He has an Urn with no charges, and now he's getting hunted by Ame.
Which is awkward because all the attention seems to be on the Clockwork right now. Now he's surrounded by 3 heroes, but they've already used their stuns from the Earthshaker, so Ame's just like, again, like, I've made a rotation, guys. I'm slowing down my Deso timing, but, like, nobody's really working with me here. Okay, they just blink Echo on Nisha, but again, no follow-up. Where is the coordination? Xtreme Gaming, they gotta wake up. Maybe Ame can kill Boxy. At least he can't even get Boxy. Boxy gets around the tree and out of sight.
If Nisha ends up getting a kill out of this sequence, I don't know what to say.
This is just ridiculous at this point. Okay, they do manage to stop Tofu from getting that kill. Maybe Nisha still cleans it up, though. Flame Guard to run him down with the Shield Rune underneath tower. Ame tries to stop him, but Stampede makes it easy. No, Ame's going to die. Triple raise, double kill for Nisha. Xtreme Gaming, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this one. We talked about these teams not being in the best form, but this is the worst that Xtreme has looked this tournament.
I don't know what that sequence was from them. If anything, I thought you maybe just echo Nisha when he runs down the hill. I think there was a solid chance he died. There's no hook shot or anything. Then you wait till everyone's out of range and then you go in. 2 of these Echo Slams just coordinated to 0% here. I also wonder, like, is this the Shaker build for the game? He's maxing Fissure over the Enchant Totem. I think he just kills the Ember there straight up if he has 3 points in the Totem.
Oh yeah, that is very weird.
I don't like this build on the mid Ember at all, especially when you have Ion Shell for some extra magic damage anyway.
Yep.
You want this core Totem maxes. Like, you're going to do so much damage, particularly to this Ember with the overwhelming physical burst. It's hard to deal with. So I think you just missed opportunities here for XG. Still in an okay position. This Ember is still suffering, but that was a big recovery for Nisha.
Well, the early towers are going down. Nice combo. Fissure, Bushwhack, and the finishing touch there, the Sharpshooter. Now Xtreme Gaming are getting some coordination.
We'll see if the missed kills come back to bite him in this game, if this Ember manages to recover a little bit more here. It was also a great fight for Mickey. That's the exact type of thing you want to see out of him in this game. SF joining the tail end of these exchanges and just triple raise someone to death. Big gold injection for him. He's still running away with this game right now. In prime position to steal the mid game with some momentum.
All right, let's talk about Centaur. Centaur, what is this hero now? Because Ace, who is a very big Centaur player, he is starting to go this build where he just rushes hard. Is this hero no longer an initiator? Is it just like an off-lane farmer? Are we going to see 33 playing? I feel like this is a 33 build if I've ever seen one.
This is the farming, scaling Centaur build. If you want to have impact after 40 minutes, this is what you do. You're going to farm the fastest. You're going to be super high net worth. You're going to be a presence in the map. It's honestly not too bad in the team fights either. Makes your spells do a little more damage whenever you get that shard. You feel really good about scaling up as well. You just absorb a lot of spells. You just stampede in. Like, that's often more useful than I blink stun some dude for, 1.7 seconds or whatever.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's 2.2, but,
What's scaled per level? Yeah, level 1's 1.6, 1.8.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's a pretty bad stun. You have to put a bunch of points into it. It has a bad cast animation. Your damage follow-up's irrelevant. I prefer this build. Look at how farmed he is. You can't complain about that.
No, I certainly can't, because Nisha may not be having the best game. He is way behind in net worth compared to all the cores in the game. It's certainly being made up by these two side laners. And I think Nisha, no doubt he understands that. He has to play with his two supports and try and make things happen. He's got two heroes that are going to farm. And, probably eventually win the game if they're able to free farm like this, right?
Not sure their scale is that much better, if at all. Wyvern Darkseer is going to scale really well in this game against the SF.
I guess I'm just thinking, isn't the 1-2 punch of Centaur SF, we've seen this so many times, the Cart SF, I feel like that's one of the most indomitable tools in the meta right now.
Sounds like you're just a Shaker hater.
Slight chains, FY, trying to sharpshooter his way out of there, but unfortunately does not get up to the high ground. Finally, the hits come in to finish the kill. Now, is Liquid able to do anything with this? Because there's plenty of Xtreme members here, and I think no doubt they would defend their mid tower if a push came their way. So yeah, Liquid just break up and go farm again.
You need to be really careful forcing fights into XG if they're set up, because you're going to get wombo comboed on the return. And it's going to be quite nasty here. If you get cursed, if you get vacuumed into any of the Shaker spells, the fight is pretty much over. Your only disruption in that sense is the clockwork. I think Boxy's role for Liquid as an initiator and counter initiator is super important here. He needs to get in there and disrupt the combo from XG. That means either, finding Shaker at the start of the fight, or just jumping in, placing a cogs, which makes it hard to get this nice vacuum echo combo going. He can be really disruptive here. Incredibly annoying hero to play into for these big team fight lineups.
What hell of a stack of three-man hookshot stun. They try and hit a Requiem off of it a little bit, and nailed the raise followed up. Okay, they do actually put together the damage. Mickey, pretty good read of that situation to Requiem from so far away to chain the stuns there. And then four-staffed himself forward to get in range of the raise. Nice vacuum wall, but unfortunately it's on a Centaur, not an SF, so Ace is going to be perfectly fine. He's going to TP away. And that gives him a good excuse to go farm some more.
Exactly. Put that heart to use.
Yep.
The other thing about this heart is you can push waves. Like, Ace is not afraid to shove out this bottom. Ame would love to go on him here. You just don't do enough damage.
Yeah,
what a hookshot find. Three-man hookshot.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Pretty nasty stuff. And you already have four-staff Kayayashi on Mickey. He's ready to join these fights and get quick Requiems off. More recovery for the Ember Spirit. That is the story here, right? 2 more kills going in Nisha's pocket. So bonus gold, some more vessel charges. Quite happy about that one.
And that comes from that early offlane tower that they took in the lane ward that got placed as a result of that. That sets all of that up, gives Boxy full information.
And they're going straight back to it. Should be another kill on XXS unless he can make something.
Nice little Tumblr, get him inside the cogs, and hook shot just to make sure he can't escape.
Got his little Centaur too.
Yeah, that's right, an extra 100 gold.
Clockwork is going to be an issue in this game for Xtreme. I feel like this hero's an issue every game, but particularly this one. Their cores do not react well to getting hookshot battery caught. There's just not really a counterplay.
Yeah.
These heroes don't really want to buy 4-staff either. You're probably just looking at BKBs. But then even if you're stuck in cogs with this lineup, I feel like it debilitates a lot of your teamfight coordination as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I will say, I think the upside for them is that while that does debilitate them and everything, I think if they just kill the SF on the initiation, then all that muck afterwards doesn't really matter too much.
I don't think you're ever going to be able to initiate on him in this game. The only time you're going to see Mickey is a first point of contact in the fight is if he has Aegis.
Right.
In which case, he's kind of annoying to kill because you're going to have to commit some of your big AoE spells on a single target. That never feels that great. Maybe you can burst him down with the Clinks if he gets enough overwhelming damage, but that's a long way away. Clinks does scale very hard, but he kind of needs to get over the mid-game hump. At that point, I think the fight will become easier, but for now, I think it's just Liquid favored, and man, this SF is looking like a big problem. Already Hurricane Pike done. If they can put an Aegis on Mickey, it'd be huge in this game.
Not finding it. Their smoke breaks, and Xtreme Gaming do not catch Ace, which would have been a tough hero to get anyway. This was also a play call that they made where they were pulling Ame across the map to join them, because he still doesn't have any Deso charges yet.
Very slow game for this item in particular. He needs something to get going here.
Again, the double Sobi mass is supposed to be for him to get a faster Deso, and it hasn't paid off at all.
Well, there's a charge.
He finally gets a charge.
Boxy will sacrifice himself to deny that illusion rune.
I don't think an illusion rune is that important, but
he denied it.
You know, he got him.
Maybe not expecting XG to all be camping it there.
Sure.
As Roche coming top, XG probably just going to force the objective. Having issues getting the team fight they want, well, make Liquid come into you.
Well, this is going to be still very awkward because there is some very good high ground vision to play off of if you're Liquid.
Who goes in? I guess you can send the Centaur. He's just not that much of a damage threat right now. So you kind of ignore him a little bit if you're XG, and they're going to smoke. They're going to stop the Roche and look for the kill.
Do they have the damage to kill Centaur?
They do.
Bushwhack, pull him in. Requiem goes out, trying to force staff him away. It doesn't work. Now the vacuum back in, pulls in Tofu. Does not get the nab onto Mickey. So good read from Xtreme Gaming. Trusting that they had enough to be able to kill that big tanky offlaner, and now the opening to take Roshan.
He doesn't have that much armor yet. It was a heads-up medallion by Ame, so you're melting, 6 armor off the Deso, another 4. Or no, 7. No, 4, sorry. So
yeah, what do you think
all
about
of his armor, basically, turning all the physical into pure damage there before he has Shivas or anything up?
It feels a little silly to go hard box. He's really trying for a hookshot steal. It's not going to happen. Nisha, no.
Just has
build
to
a heart, but not build like even just a basic plate mail afterwards. He went for the blink dagger.
Well, he's eyeing the plate mail now.
Yeah, of course. He's going to go the armor eventually. I'm saying, what do you think about him going for the blink dagger in the first place? It feels awkward.
Mixed. Depends on if you thought you were going to be able to get that smoke jump into a team fight, enable the SF, and then get Roche yourself. I think that was probably the game plan here for Liquid. They just got caught off guard and beat to the punch. Maybe underestimating the timings here for the Clinks relative to the SF. He's not that far behind. It's not as if Ame has had a slow farm game. He just hadn't found that many kills around the map.
Well, now Ame can be super aggressive with an Aegis and an Orchid. And pick up on Tofu here. Nice and easy.
These types of kills are big for Clinks, honestly. You gain so much momentum in the game. The extra levels are super nice. You gain map control. You make parts of the map scarier for these Liquid supports to run into. It's a big deal.
It would have been all the sweeter, though, if he had caught the Ember Spirit.
Oh, sure, yeah. Beggars can't be choosers.
Revealing that Orchid, Nisha's going to have to play a lot more careful around the map, knowing the Clinks has this silence. He doesn't have a tool to deal with it for quite some time. They're going nothing to say here now. Nothing to say has a shield rune, and he will be able to blink away because of that. They almost got through the shield rune in time, and if they did, he would have died there.
That was a little spooky. MTS flirting with danger. See if they just commit for the tier 2 push top. This is a fight Liquid could take. They don't have hook shot, so missing that kill mid is probably going to cost them this objective fight.
Yeah.
Oh, actually back off again, and they've been extremely conservative on these objective plays. Preferring to just take the fights.
Gate to Tormentor?
Yeah, I guess so. Better objective, safer objective.
Yeah, get them to go top, and then you know that Tormentor is free to take, especially since there's no off-lane tier 1.
They have 2 shards already, so should go to one of the supports. Yep. Not the greatest shard anymore.
Yeah, that one's not amazing.
You get the cooldown, though. Kind of nice.
Well, how much are you using Cold Embrace in this game?
It's not the worst Cold Embrace game, I will say.
It's also not the best.
No, but I think it's very hard to get a game where you look at the spell and it's free to use nowadays. Like, this is honestly, as you can maybe block some of the physical damage coming out from this SF. It's okay against Centaur and if you're just stalling, but Yeah, pretty mediocre.
Yeah, I feel like as the game goes on, Center's like, oh, that's a hero with my shard. I just double edge over and over
Usually
again.
what happens.
And I'm going to build a whole lot of strength off of it.
XG looking solid right now. Liquid's going to smoke, try and make a move.
Amp damage does give them clearance to take a 5 versus 6. Even the extra life may not be enough to contest an amp damage.
They do have the BKB on Mickey. That's a big timing here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of BKB control for Xtreme Gaming, and it's a huge item in this SF Darkseer matchup.
A long smoke wraparound, but Xtreme seem very well. They do hit the hook shot onto the high ground of X-Nova, but Ame, what a vacuum! And the curse goes off as well. Ace jumps over to the side trying to stop Ace here, and how have they not killed anybody in this mess of spells? Finally, the Witch Doctor goes down, but Ame has lost his Aegis, and Ace is going to set up on him. Mickey's ready to go. He's going to pop the BKB, Requiem point blank, and kill Ame a second time. How do you hit a combo like that? Was the curse Grief?
The curse was fine because it should set up for the Shaker, but Boxy disrupted the Shaker on the backside of the fight, so you can't get in there and stun them all and create space for the Clinks.
Hit the chains on Nothing to Say. Mickey did manage to reset. Now he's got a Hurricane Pike back up in a place, so he was toying with seeing maybe he could join his team again, but nah. They call it quits here. They want to make sure Ace gets out, though. Ace taking a lot of damage to commit the Echo Slam and finish him off. And Mickey almost died in the back lines there. They hit him with the Fisher, hit him with the Echo Fly. Oh, what a dodge! Mickey with the heads up. Little move there that keeps him alive. Nothing to Say is still looking at these low health heroes while Nothing is okay. Yeah, he just kills Tofu like that. Now pops BKB. Nisha right in the middle of all these low health supports, but big bad Nothing to Say is trying to finish him off with the enchant totems and gets the job done. Who cares if X-Nova dies? Now they grab yet another hero. Boxy pulled back in by the vacuum, and Liquid bleeding out here.
They lost both supports twice as that fight gets extended so long. And that was with Ame doing effectively nothing. Like, he deals some damage here at the start of the fight, but he didn't get anything done with the 2 lives. Just all the Shaker with the Darkseer support cleaning house. If you don't kill Hoodwink, she wins these long fights. You get like 4 or 5 bushwhacks off. That's the game. So you get the hookshot here, you disrupt the Wyvern, and then Boxy, he's going to run down, and he's just going to nab the Shaker as he comes in. So you can't get in here for that Echo. There's just not any damage going on to Liquid in this curse. It's a teamfight setup spell in this game. Couldn't utilize it at the end. A little unfortunate for how good it looked. Liquid still pay a big price though. Mickey takes a lot of damage here. You lose the supports. You have to reset.
I mean, imagine Mickey dies off of that.
Ooh. I mean, that's what, a 7 for 1 if he dies there?
Yeah, exactly.
Still ends up being effectively a 6 for 1. Pretty brutal for Liquid. Showing you the power of Shaker in this game. He's real strong.
Yeah, he's constant enchant totem hits. I mean, Ember Spirit doesn't really match that damage right now. And Nothing to Say is well on his way to a refresher off of that.
This is where I love the cooldown synergy for XG. Like, I think heroes like Hoodwink and Shaker just work super well together.
Oh, what up?
Oh, okay. Nice little find. Well, let's also see if Ace can continue to find some team net worth here in terms of like a Crimson or Pipe or something.
What do you think he's going with this plate mail? Is it Shiva's? Is it a good Lotus game?
It's either Lotus or Shiva's, and Lotus is not doing anything for a year.
Yeah, it's not, so gotta
it
be
might
Shiva's.
just be a casual one for now. I could see him going into a Pipe or Crimson before he finishes his plate mail into anything.
Okay. You're really big on the Crimson. You don't think Aghanim Scepter is worth investing into early? Isn't there really only one hero you're looking to keep alive in this fight, and that's the SF?
I don't like the Ags as much as Pipe. I think Pipe is better here against XG's team fight.
Okay.
Especially in this mid game.
And they do have some plenty of AoE stun, so it's not going to be the easiest to get in there to save the SF. Chances of you getting hit by a Fisher, Echo Slam, Vacuum, Bushwhack, Winter's Curse, like the list goes on.
It's tough. I also think you have to rely on Mickey's BKB a little bit in this game. Like, he has to be able to get in there, hit in this BKB, use it while other stuff is happening. Other heroes are getting disabled or controlled by the Clockwork and the Ember. You have backline jump in this lineup.
Okay, but what if he went his patented double heart?
I was looking at he's not going to do that. There's no way. This is not.
It's not the position, right?
This is not the game for it in my mind.
He bought out the Reaver. He's doing it. He's doing it. So Ace is the originator of this build. Shout out to Knoxville for this one. Apparently, he is the person to do this build the most. He was also the first person to do it all the way back in 2014.
You are very tanky. There's no denying that. What's better than 1 heart? 2 hearts, I guess.
I just can't.
Oh, make a...
Gets away with a 4-staff initially. Xtreme Gaming. They're going to keep chasing.
Awkward position for them.
Hook shot on nothing to say. He's got the BKB. Doesn't want to have to use it early here. Fisher goes out and does manage to get the blank way. No damage done. XXS just keeping some of these heroes back. Nisha making sure to threaten. Doesn't actually jump in. Throws out the Remnant. He needs to get to the Winter Wyvern and Hoodwink first thing every fight.
You want to find the XG backline, but you don't want to overextend.
Right.
Too far away from your damage to do it. You can end up in these situations where the rest of the lineup that's charging in, trying to take advantage of the backline jump, just gets comboed or killed by Clinks.
Speaking of the Clinks, with his shard, soon to be level 20, and a Daedalus on the way.
Scaling.
A lot of damage.
Starting to become a massive threat. These low armor heroes, particularly these liquid supports, they don't have it. I guess you have a Ghost Scepter on Tofu. That's about it, though. Worried for Boxy going into these fights. You might find that hook shot and then just get instantly ripped apart.
Yeah, Boxy's also going to buy a Ghost Scepter.
Need it here. We'll see if Ame goes for the Nullifier, or if he just doesn't care and tries to take down some bigger targets.
Well, I guess I'm just like double heart. You go in. Don't Xtreme talk about this and just say whatever you do, don't go on the Centaur.
They can, yeah.
Right, like. We'll say if they do hit the Centaur, it is a lot of damage they're taking from Retaliate. That is for sure.
Well, he can get broken.
Talent. That's true.
There's a break in this game. Another reason I like it a little less here. Does have the armor now, though.
I mean, if they do let him complete out this build, right, where he gets the shard, maybe gets Shiva's.
It can become oppressive. It's basically a damage test. If you ignore him and he has the shard and he starts getting 4 or 5 double edges off, the build comes online. If he gets controlled or the rest of his team dies too quickly, this build doesn't pay off. A little bit of a gamble in a game like this.
Smoke in from Liquid.
It's so tough to run in here.
Fight off of Roche. Spotted, nothing to say. Do manage to get that initiation.
Great
Trying to chain it, put a 4-staff. Got him away from the swamp, and now the vacuum as a counterplay. Big hit from XXS that kills one. Meanwhile, you have Nisha committing his entire BKB, trying to finish off the Winter Wyvern. The Echo Slam bushwhack him. The BKB expires as they finish up the Winter Wyvern kill.
I thought he popped it there, but it was already running. Great snag from Xtreme Gaming. That is just not going to be an easy fight. Like, there's no way about it. Going into an XG high ground this game seems almost impossible with how many heroes can turn that initial go around.
Oh my god, point blank Requiem, he got nothing to say, just standing. Wait, he got the miss. He finally gets the kill, but he had to commit heavily for it. Now the stomp, their turnaround though. Oh, Hoodwink gets a couple of scurry dodges, finally goes down, and with their Death Requiem, they do kill Ame off of this one. I mean, even the whole team might not be able to fight up against this Centaur.
Definitely nothing you're doing against Ace in that situation. What a play from Mickey.
Why did nothing to say?
I think he just wanted to scout the high ground to stop any sort of contest coming through.
I guess so.
Just walk straight into 2,300 damage coming out from that SF.
I mean, it couldn't be more picture perfect for Mickey outside of the awkward way to finish. Nothing to say. Had to commit the 4-snap BKB down to low ground, then misses a shot on FY. Slows his damage down considerably, but in the end, it works.
Might get the Roche here. Ace is chunking it down right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it myself. Now he's got his shard. He didn't have it.
You got to contest this
before
if you're XG.
that.
You can't let Liquid take a Roche on without the Shadow Fiend on
the
the
wall's back up. Walls back up. XXS could get something good here. He gets the Shivas. Vacuum, pull him out of the pit. Roshan's low. They make the commitment. XXS tries to steal, but Nisha is too fast. XXS now trying to run away, but a beautiful death ward set up by Tofu. Too late on the Fisher to bail out your offlaner, and nothing to say. Might die for it as well. They're going to jump after both him and FY. They want to collect all the kills here. FY pushing him back with the Psychic Headband. Not good enough. Nothing to say. Being run down. Activates the BKB. Echo Slam. Turn around. Kills Nisha. Takes away the Aegis. But he gets tagged by damage. Good Winner's Curse. More damage coming in. No, nothing to say. He's able to blink away. He's good for now. A slight bit of recovery. Still terrible for Xtreme Gaming, but at least they get that Aegis and nothing to say doesn't die.
That was Liquid making something out of nothing there. That should have been Roshan going to XG's way, putting an Aegis on this Clinks. That is a Aegis that can potentially go high ground. And now you're left wondering, like, what the hell just happened in this fight? How did it go so wrong? And now this Centaur build, it's coming alive a little bit. He did some solid work there. Look at that DPS, 8,600.
Yeah, I feel like this little window where he doesn't have Shard is like kind of awkward, but now every item after this is going to be heavy impact. The Shard is incredibly good. Now when he gets overwhelming Blink, it's a nuke that is going off.
Oh, he scales. He absolutely scales in this game. There's no doubt about that. And it's just it's one of those things. You don't have the Shard for that fight going high ground. You lose that fight. If you lose Roche there, this build's going to look a lot worse. But now that you salvaged it, you took Aegis away from XG, you have a lot more time to farm and scale up here, pushing toward 25 talent as well. I think you got over that rough patch.
Yeah, if he gets the Retaliate Aura, I mean, that's one of the things. Clinks doesn't very naturally build lifesteal early on. He's so reliant on his death packs, so that constant bit of damage for every hero that he hits is not going to feel good. He's trying to build up a BKB right now on Ame, then go back for the Bloodthorn.
Definitely needs at least another survivability item in this game. I don't think you can itemize just pure damage here if you're Ame. Wyvern can only bail you out of so much.
Nothing to say. Didn't go the Refresher. He got an Octarine for just more spam of these spells, but now he will try and build a Refresher. I mean, there's still, no matter how far ahead Liquid gets, though, and they're obviously only just now getting a net worth lead, very small one, Xtreme Gaming pretty much always have the potential to put them in the dirt.
I like their timing right now, though. They hit 25 on Mickey. First to 25 in this game. That is a beast of a talent there with the Shadow Ray applies attack damage. He's got to do so much DPS in the fight if Liquid can set it up for him.
Nice pick off here. Xtreme Gaming setting up on high grounds. Boxy trying to clear the way. And now with the numbers advantage, they push out. Boxy has been a huge hindrance to their initiation, to their team fight. So him being out of the equation is actually pretty big. They'll get the additional kill on Tofu. Another minor actor down, but Liquid still up with all their cores.
Support solidarity.
Yes. Where one go, all go.
That's right. You know, I hate to say it, Austin, but
I don't think you do, but go ahead.
No, I really hate it. You don't know what I'm saying. I really hate it, but I think this Clockwork needs Shard right now. If there were ever a game
he needs Jetpack.
I think this is the Jetpack game, because I think you just have to be as disruptive as possible.
Absolutely.
Right? Being able to like blink in cogs, fly away quickly, reset, get another round of disruptive spells off.
It almost sounds like it's not one of the worst shards in the game.
I'm being convinced. I'm being convinced. Yeah. You know what convinced me? Some of those crit games. He made it look really good.
Okay. So me and Insania telling you that Jetpack is amazing made no impact whatsoever, but crit.
Yeah, he's slowly converting me.
Okay.
I'm a semi-believer.
All right, Falcons, just keep drafting Clockwork for me. Eventually, Avery will see the light.
Basically, I'm saying I think if Boxy can get in a round of spells, survive, and get in
Shiva's
another.
Blink in. Finds a beautiful vacuum initiation. That's going to be them all dead, baby. Ace is going to take a lot of damage, but he still managed to stampede some distance away. He's got the Orchid. That's going to take a little bit more. And a Blink, not quite up. Hits him with another Fisher. They've got him. They've got a bit of control. They've got a bit of damage. Another Bushwhack lands. I mean, there's just constant follow-up from this team. With the Octarine on Earthshaker, once you're in, there's not much of a way out unless you got a BKB.
These vacuums are nasty, man. You cannot get caught in them this game. especially with the massive AoE on this spell now. Like, I go back to it every time. The fact that it has a 75 talent, the fact you're always going to get another 75 from Shiva's, the AoE on these vacuums, it's broken. It's way too broken. So you pretty much have to start fights on your terms if you're Liquid. If you just get caught out, it's a done deal. And that's not even bursting the Centaur. And he lives through it. You're not going to be able to turn that engagement even if your other cores are there. Power of this team fight combo lineup. And there's an Ags for the Darkseer. XXS gets to complete this item off the back of that. Another big threat for this SF. That's the extra scale you want in this matchup. XG, they're getting to the late game items here. You had that 25 timing on Mickey, and you haven't been able to use it for anything yet. Feels a little sad for him. I mean, you go in there, you triple raise someone with this Daedalus, they're probably just gone. But the tankier Extreme Gaming get, the harder it's going to be to find these little connections. BKB, done for Ame. Pendulum online. He's a tanky boy now.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you talk about the tank, then Pendulum, a tier 4 item. I mean, there are 2 tier 4 items that are so clearly broken. And it's Pendulum, and it's the other one that Darkseer has, Conjurer's Catalyst. We'll see if Earthshaker, did he not get it?
Well, hold on now there. You gotta keep Bubble in the conversation. Let's not...
Yeah, Bubble got nerfed a little bit.
But did it get
also,
nerfed
I don't think
hearts?
I don't think anything's broken if it takes you extending the game for another hour.
Well, yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah, careful there, Liquid. You never know when Niche or XXS is going to jump in with his Giga Vacuum.
To potentially double Echo Slam now. You have to respect the refresher on it.
They have to go in blind. Hit the Shivas, trying to find these heroes. Doesn't really see the vacuum opportunity, holds it for now. Centaur goes in. Ace, Ame, he's going to back away. Ooh, that's taking a lot of damage, though. Hit him with the hook shot from behind. Where did Boxy come from? Can he get inside the cogs, too? Up in 1 more second. He's sticking on top of him. The force staff separates Ame. Mickey got put inside of the wall, and he's trying to deal with his own illusion. He'll clear it out. No problem. He got that done. X-Nova, he'll be run down by Nisha. And Ace is still on top of Ame. Ame has no way out. He's dead as well. The mobility of this lineup between Ace just being a wrecking ball that runs into Extreme and Nisha playing the outskirts, constantly able to catch up with this Aghanim Scepter. They just do not let Ame escape. Oh, so close for an extra kill. But either way, they got the big kill. Ame is out of here, which means all the damage is gone from Extreme Gaming, and they can take some objectives.
Just can't stand their ground. Once the teamfight starts to collapse, Liquid do an amazing job not clumping anywhere. There was no clear vacuum combo at any point in that fight. And that is the exact type of fight they want. They want the Ember going in deep with the Axe. They want Centaur running at somebody else. Clockwork is disrupting. Great positioning from Boxy. He did so much work to bait the initial go, reset, find another initiation on the Clinks as you're trying to retreat. Mickey just gets to lay in some damage. That's the type of formation you want here if you're Liquid. Multiple points of attack, a lot of chaos, not a single target for XG to kind of, okay, we're going to go on this guy and bait Liquid in.
Oh, look at Ace. He's positioning himself to chip away at these tier 4s, saying, you know, you guys lose another fight like this, we might go throw. X6 Echo Slam off the vacuum. Mickey is gone, and that's a refresher. What a combo from Extreme. They didn't need Ame at all. They can take that Centaur down in a winner's curse, stopping 2 TPs to collect 2 more kills. You cannot mess with the positioning here. Extreme Gaming have one of the deadliest team fight combos in the game, and they put it together without their carry to stop the assault on their base. Their barracks both go down to nothing but stay alive.
Sick execution there. No BKBs go off, no way to bail you out of this situation. It was perfectly timed. You have BKB Satanic on Mickey. He's probably thinking, there's no way I die here. Unless Earthshaker has some other plans. Even get the 2-man curse on the backside. Beautiful execution from Extreme Gaming. The fights have gone better when Ame's dead. No way around it. Like, and part of it, I think, is Liquid. They're a little asleep at the wheel there, right? Like that. Yeah,
where's the hook shot to stop? Was it up? If so, like, or if not, like, should you be making that push in the first place?
I just think you have to instantly be ready for that Blinken.
Almost caught Nisha there. 1 lane of barracks turns to 2. You lost heroes. You didn't have buybacks, and Ame came up shortly after they won that fight. I mean, it's the perfect opportunity. Clinks is going to take 2 lanes of barracks. We'll probably back up after that because Roshan has the potential to be up.
Boxy pulled the mid wave. It'll kick back Dorian no matter what. What a team fight win for them, though. This game was starting to look scary with how fat the Shadow Fiend is, but now you have a Hex on Hoodwink, you have 25s coming out soon. You also win a fight like that, it's gonna give you time for this refresher to come back up because they were dead for so long and you took their base. It's already only 25 seconds here for NTS. See if this Aegis goes their way after fighting so long, so hard for it. Boxy.
Trying for the hook shot initiation. Boxy's not going to get this opening against Xtreme. They swarm the area, making sure there's many bodies as possible to stop.
That's refresher shard Roche too, right? Yeah.
You got Cheese, Banner.
But you could potentially give this to the Darkseer if you really just want to ruin Liquid's day in the team fight.
Yeah, he's got an empty slot for it. Drops his boots because...
I wouldn't mind it. Double wall, double back is incredibly nasty. The second Mickey does not have BKB in this game, he will just get evaporated. So poses a lot of threat here.
Yeah, it's beginning to feel like Liquid always have to make the initiation. If they give the opportunity for Xtreme to make the jump, I mean, frankly, they just don't have the builds to stop it. If you had BKB Ags on Centaur, I think it's a different story, right? Even when he gets Ags, it's like, what's the point? There are too many stuns, AoE stuns to stop you. You have to get BKB as well to ensure you can actually use the Ags. So he thought about Ags. Now he's going, okay, I'm back to the overwhelming blink.
The biggest issue is it's not that easy to convert on your disable here. If you go in with the Ember, you go in with the Clockwork, your damage follow-up is either the SF or I guess Centaur, you know, how Ace is playing him. But if you go in and you all focus the same target and you clump, you get punished. So you kind of have to send multiple groups of heroes at different targets in these team fights and just make it chaotic, or let the Ember create space. But you really have to watch your spacing, and this is where the Wyvern's annoying in this game. It's not that the curse is going to kill you, it's what happens after you get caught in the curse.
Right.
So you're looking for X-Nova, you're looking for NTS. Those are the two big heroes you want to find at the start of the fight, or at least get vision on, so that Mickey can go in with confidence that he's not going to get wombo comboed. If he gets vacuumed, but he still has items up, it's fine. If he gets vacuumed into stuns, as we saw in that base push, it's fight over. And they did end up passing that refresher shard to XXS, so you get caught in anything here, it's just going to be wombo combo for days.
Hey, I don't know if... Because the AoE, the vacuum is so big, like, do you really want to be waiting on your high ground? I feel like this triangle positioning is maybe the best spot to be. XXS, he gets the scan and only hits the Echo Slam on one. The Tofu, yeah, Eontis easily deals with that one. Cut off a really good Maledict. Inisha's in prime position to chase down heroes now, having used that combination. Nice vacuum wall, though. That holds back much of Liquid. It means that Mickey has to deal with his illusion. It's only Nisha who can make this chase, but he does manage to get NTS in the end. Now he's going to go after the support, see if they can pick up.
Ame in trouble.
Ame, yeah, he just can't deal with Ace. That's going to be one life down. Scythe of Ice gets used with the illusion rune on SF. SF is going to be in some trouble. Mickey, he's in trouble. It's Satanic help keeping him alive. Enough lifesteal. He forces Ame to be out instead. Xtreme Gaming tried to go for the turnaround, but now it's back to retreat. Full retreat from them. X-Nova, no, the Winter's Curse doesn't save him. XXS has to get away from the Death Ward. Missed hook shot on the side. Buyback's going to be used. Xtreme Gaming resetting here because they have a fresh round of spells if they want it. Don't forget about those refreshers.
They bought NTS and he couldn't find anything. Still holding the refresher, there's just no opening. They used a refresher shard on the Darkseer as well. That's the type of fight Liquid are looking for. Very chaotic, multiple points of contact. Nobody's able to burst this SF down.
Well, I mean, what was that jump, though? I mean, you hit a one-man vacuum. That's fine. XXS he's the one who creates the vision. But what about NTS Echo Slam on a Witch Doctor?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he sees here. He definitely has not seen what we're seeing.
He definitely didn't see Eontis, that's for sure.
But even if you kill Doctor there, it's a hero with buyback. There's just no way sacrificing your positioning, again, on a target that's different from what the Darkseer went on. That's what's creating multiple points of entry here for Liquid. He's kind of gifting them that. You have to buy back supports.
No, that was the missed hook shot, right, from Boxy. That was his reaction.
Not happy he missed that.
I was about to say, I was like, what was there to be sad about that team fight?
Well, again, they did buy both supports, and that does mean a lot here.
Sure.
Like this Clockwork, it's not one of those games where you see some crazy single play from the Clock, but him just existing in the fight is very annoying for Xtreme Gaming.
Xtreme Gaming, a bit of a setback, but I mean, it's a major setback to be sure, but they can still get back on course. They're still up in net worth. They're still up 2 lanes of barracks. They still have all this team fight potential. None of it has gone away. It's really up to Liquid to keep, you know, making sure they never mess up their position. A nice opening here, maybe. FY. Quick little kill, and Ame hit by the stomp. What a vacuum, though. Hits 3. Get her curse onto Illusion. That one doesn't really matter. Still, Ame's in trouble. These Daedalus hits a Daedalus hit. It finishes him off. He dies.
Where's the turnaround? Is there any regroup here for XG? Another fight where who are you focusing and how do you get this Clinks involved?
Yeah, why is Ame the second person in the fight and not one of your 2 stunning initiators?
Liquid just catching them off guard, just running at them. This Ember is starting to do a lot of work in this game, become a big problem.
That's right, Nisha. Cogs, all they have to do is keep XXS, keep damage on him, make sure he can't get a blink away. He hit the hook shot on the slighted Ember Spirit instead of XXS. So somehow
get him out here?
XXS actually has a chance to be able to get away. They can follow the smoke cloud. But I mean, even if he dies at this point, this is time. You had 55 seconds on Ame.
Yeah, you lost a lot of window to get some building damage or get the lanes in.
Blink TP away. The Liquid, they're going to get practically nothing for this.
Big win for XXS here, as he will salvage an otherwise disastrous situation for Xtreme Gaming. I feel like that's been the MO of this game. The fights have just been awkward, even the ones they win. Unless you get that big wombo combo, it's looked real strange in terms of what are you trying to accomplish here.
And that wombo combo is going to be harder and harder to hit every single time your blink daggers are put on cooldown. And Nisha is trying to get Shivas, which with Ember Spirit, you know, it's a lot different when you have the mobility of both Remnants and Slight. The Shivas just hits the entire area.
He's an issue. He's just going in, and there's no real casual spell you can throw on him unless FY can connect with Hex or the Bushwhack here.
Yeah, they have to stun him and nullifier him.
Another great catch from Boxy.
Yeah. FY just keeps on trying to probe the areas here, and he's met with death. Level 20 Witch Doctor. Got 1% target max health Voodoo Restoration. So the Voodoo Restoration is actually back to doing something again.
Pretty nice on this, what is it, 6,000 HP center on average.
Yeah.
An extra heart for him, as if he needed it.
I mean, every single double edge gives him like 30 strength or something.
I like these Aeon discs as well. I think this is a great Aeon disc game for Liquid. It's not just about the combo break, it's the status resistance. It's a really annoying item for the Winner's Curse to be thrown out on. We've seen a couple this game where Xnova, he gets like 2 or 3 heroes, but he threw it on a status resist target from the disc wearing off, and it lasts for half a second.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. I mean, that was my impact. Very hard to land some good curses here if he has to be the one starting it. I think Liquid are finding solutions here in the late game. It's not looking too rough for him anymore.
It's all about, I mean, so much of late game pro Dota, right, is about theory crafting and itemization. You have to be able
100%.
to play out the team fights in your mind and say, okay, there's so many items in Dota 2, right? There is an answer somewhere in this shop.
Or an answer in terms of how you take the fight. I think that's what separates, for example, Falcons from a lot of teams here. Their late game team fighting, it's very coordinated, very designed. They understand when to commit and when not to overcommit. And I think that's something XG are going to have to pull out here. I don't think you can just full send it on the first vacuum or expect it to necessarily land, right? If you catch 2 or 3 heroes on the vacuum, sure, you go in with the shaker. But if XXS goes in, he catches 1 or 2 in, like, or there's a Witch Doctor standing in front of you, you have to be patient. You can't just throw the whole sink at him. You have to let the fight develop, keep your formation, and maybe try and bait Liquid into you. We just haven't seen that happen yet. Liquid very disciplined in this game.
Speaking of discipline, you're going to need buyback discipline in this game. Make sure you always have buyback and know when to pull the trigger on it. That's one of the problems of Xtreme's position right now. Is still 2 minutes on buyback, 4-0 to say. While Liquid are maintaining, 3 buybacks on their course. SF is going to buy an Ag Synth here, while still holding buyback. He had 9,000 gold in the bank. They're going to spot it.
He has no
Disc goes off and goes after as well. Blink in. They immediately found nothing to say. That was Boxy's target. Stops the initiation. They still manage to hit a vacuum, though. Mickey is going to deal with his illusions, but the fight is so split up. Ame is so far out here, and Nisha is just sticking onto him like glue. They're going to cold embrace him, but now that just means the SF is slowly making his way, and he's going to provide the damage that will kill Ame. Nothing to do about that one. Nisha is just a nuisance, man.
Again, what do you throw into December to deal with him as he's just corralling your team out of the fight?
Nope. Managed to get the curse. Nothing matters. Too many heroes are around here. Nothing is going to stop X-Nova's, or everything is going to stop X-Nova's Blink Dagger.
And where did the big spells go? There was no multi-hero vacuum that kind of stabilized the fight. It was another Echo Slam on a single Witch Doctor target just to try and salvage something. There's just no clear focus. Great spellcasting from the Liquid supports this game. I mean, they have a lot of deaths, but that's the nature of this one, right? You have to go in and just create some space, create some chaos. Wasted so much time. Even the barrage, the strafe, Searing Arrow, plus I think some of the Skeleton Walk went on to the Witch Doctor as he popped the shard. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 spells from Ame he commits to try and hit this Witch Doctor, and he dodged all of it. And you're just losing value there. It's like all these little exchanges are just not favorable for you. And this is going to be an Aegis going into Mickey's hands. He is a massive problem in this game. Refresher shard for Liquid. We'll see who opts to take it here. Not as good for their lineup, but
no doubt.
Could be nice for the... I could see double Stampede potentially.
I mean, just give it to Ember Spirit.
Yeah,
he doesn't have
the
a
Remnants. Remnants are too good here.
It's very easy for him to slot it in as a 7th item.
I will say,
Remnants, put it in.
Going high ground's a very different beast this game for Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid's been in this position before, and then they threw it away on their mid lane push. So I do wonder what the, like, I would love to hear their comms right now, just like, do we go high ground? How do we hit high ground? Because last time it was like, it wasn't the worst positioning from Liquid. It was a 2-man vacuum between Centaur SF, but it was more than enough with the all-in damage from Earthshaker double echo. So
the biggest difference is you can't create that sort of chaotic fight where multiple people are getting attacked when you're going into XG's high ground. They will always have a formation that can cover each other and kind of back up into the base.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's say you try and dive in super deep with the Ember like we've seen every fight. Well, you're just going into tier 4s. You're going into the Fountain. There's a cap here. There's a limit you're going to go up against, and then the fight will collapse. So
yeah, I feel like there'd be many teams, Falcons, 1W off the top of my head, who would almost say like maybe we don't hit high ground.
Just farm for 50k net worth lead. Yeah, it's an option. You can also just drop banner and put ace here. And
yeah. There is the retaliate that can kill the tier 3. They are going to try and Echo Slam kill him. Refresher, another Echo Slam, only getting down to about half. Pull back in with the vacuum. They still have a chance though with another Fisher holding him into place. Ace is almost dead, but he's not quite. They used everything, man. They used double Echo. Clinks hit him with all of his damage. They popped wall vacuum, and it wasn't enough. Meanwhile, you had Mickey. Mickey's just got free clearance.
Well,
they just said, okay, go ahead, Mickey. Take the entire base if you want, I guess.
You tried to all in, and it didn't succeed. There's also an argument, even if you got him and he buys, you're still in this situation.
Yeah, it's still a position where Mickey is like, okay, I have 2 lives. And you don't have multiple ultimates that were the big threat to me.
This is going to be multiple lanes for sure. Do you have a buyback on the Shaker? You're missing a lot of spells.
There is that low cooldown on the wall, so they'll get this lane of barracks, but for the next one, they'll at least have wall up. And another 30 seconds until Echo Slam is back up if NTS feels pressured to buy. Which, if I'm Liquid, I'm definitely trying to get that out of him.
I think you have to go past the Centaur here if you're
I mean, the Centaur's going to stay inside the base, and they see that it's an opportunity to try and go him on a second time. Clinks does do enough damage.
Okay, he died. Got absolutely chunked by the Bloodthorn, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Bloodthorn. There was no Dispel this time around. Something that Ace was, he was feeling that pain before. It's why he built up the Lotus in the first place.
Surprised he didn't get the Lotus.
1,500 damage.
Some serious chain stun. He got hexed into Bushwhack, into Punch, into Vacuum, into Aftershock. Yeah, throw it all at him. Guaranteed that Bloodthorn will proc. Was there no other Dispel available for Liquid? I guess not, right? They don't have another Lotus Orb.
Yeah, that might be something that the game goes late enough. Supports get something. FY. Hook shot at Foxy. He's jumped pretty far out here by himself.
He'll throw away a gem there.
Yeah, that... What? Huh?
just feeling himself, you know?
He's feeling far too much of himself, that is for sure.
Well, Liquid throw a little bit away on that high ground push. They do get 2 lanes. It's not unsuccessful by any means. But the buybacks are revitalized here for everybody in the game except the Shaker, who committed to turn that Centaur kill.
It is Silver Edge. I saw a Demon Edge picked up, and I thought for a second there Mickey was saying it's Divine time. Completes the Silver Edge. Will Xtreme go straight to the high ground to get these buybacks to be used?
This is a risky push.
It is very risky. Ame makes it a little bit easier with the Ags. Burning Army, point blank Requiem though! And they were prepared for that one, and Ame doesn't use the BKB fast enough.
He's gonna buy. They're gonna
buy back now. Beautiful bushwhack catching the 2 of them. Echo Slam's gonna be put to use here, but they really do much damage. They can still keep heroes here. The 2 supports will die. The Ember Spirit has free reign to get out, though Tofu's not dead yet. Eon Disc, Ghost Scepter, it actually gets him away, surprisingly enough. That is a dieback on Boxy, so it is actually Liquid in a 4 versus 5.
They might push with this, given how annoying the Clockwork's been, even without the Ame buy.
How did Ame let that happen to? I mean, it's a level 30 SF with Kaya, Yasha Kaya, so he had the cast speed reduction, but still.
It's a lot of magic burst. Maybe you're thinking he gets cursed there and you can survive and turn it around. Just too much overwhelming damage. See Liquid setting up on the side. They are ready for XG to commit. Will they?
Got the Scythe initiation on the Ember Spirit, and a 2-man vacuum on the side. If they can kill the Ember while the others are held in place, XXS takes huge chunks of damage. Call the Brace Winter's Curse, trying to bail out.
That should kill him.
Tofu is definitely going to die to this Winter's Curse, though. That's a dieback on the 2 supports, so now it's a 5 versus 3.
They're going to buy the Darks here. You have to send it here. These supports have been way too annoying in this game. There's no Aeon.
Mickey.
He's trying to make something happen. They do have a gem on the Hoodwink.
XXS trying to keep him honest here. Blinks in Shivas. Racks are being assaulted here. Megas is not the end of the game. They may get it. Ember Spirit spots the Winter Wyvern. He's going to jump in. Here comes that Requiem. But Ame got off the BKB this time around, and a world of difference it makes. No damage done to the Clinks. They're going to deal with the banner. The Ember Spirit, the Echo Slam off the banner.
Pretty
they
good.
have a refresh. They can keep him down. Yeah, that's Mickey dead. And Ace, he's going to take a lot of damage trying to crawl his way out of here with the Bushwhacks and the Vacuums constantly pulling in the heroes. There is no way out.
Liquid, they have buybacks on the Ember and the Centaur.
It's going to be Megas. But Xtreme, no, that's not the end of the game. They push to tier 4s, get these buybacks out of them. What do they do when the buybacks are used, though? Are they going to keep it going?
You have to full send it here.
Plenty
you still have an
damage.
Echo.
Hook shot makes the initiation, and here comes the TP right behind Ame. Ame's in a bad spot, instantly using
3 heroes done.
3 heroes controlled up with the vacuum, controlled on the Bushwhack, and breaks it through, but Ame still dies. And the damage is gone now for Xtreme. 2 minutes dead with no buyback. 60-minute items are up. There are so many options to be played here. Liquid, though, first things first, get as many heroes as you can. Try and catch some more Xtreme Gaming pickoffs. Hook shot onto the creeps, that's going to whiff. And it looks like the rest of Xtreme are away. So Boxy and Ace couldn't find anything else. What do you do as Liquid here? You're probably not strong enough to just go to the high ground. This looks like they're just going to have to play for tier 5s.
You have to just get the lanes out, try and deward, get your neutral items. It's almost fortunate in a way that the one core that died back there was the Ember, because that killed the chase potential for Liquid. You weren't able to clean up any heroes at the tail end of this. And he died because his Aeon got popped very early in this fight. Huge Echo Slam finds from Entias. These are not vacuum setups. These are just him going in, finding the connection.
Those final shots that followed him after he rendered it, I guess he had no slights to disjoint.
He's just running out of spells. And again, here, he just gets chain stunned. No Aeon Disc to pop. He gets Bloodthorn by Ame. His last will before he dies. He's like, I'm taking you with me, brother. I will Bloodthorn you.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee. Liquid are actually going to have some attention put to this final lane of barracks. Maybe they could get the Megas.
There's a glyph here.
Ace is saying, I can do it. Everybody else is going to play to the back now. Xtreme Gaming, they can play. They can make this an even game. They can say, okay, you get the Megas, or maybe we can just stall for 30 seconds, but...
They got doubled. Book of the Dead. That's pretty nice in this situation. Maybe not the optimal item for the heroes, but it's going to do some work here, installing up this push. They're sending Necrobooks down mid right now. This is a lot of base pressure on Liquid, and you just can't put the SF up here to take the buildings quickly.
Yeah. It's not going to be fast enough. And
you're going to get caught.
Awkward position. Fisher, they're going to pop the Stampede, but the vacuum is there. pull him back in, and I think Tofu, he's just going to tell Ace to run. Wait, no, Boxy actually goes back in. Ace is still holding around. I mean, Mickey is not here, so...
Double echo for the doctor.
Yeah, that is one hell of a commitment, and Tofu's perfectly fine. The Crawlers, they managed to stop Ace's initiation with the overwhelming blink. He was going to go after, nothing to say. Mickey was just about to join them. Here comes Ame, though. Puts the damage out. The Requiem, high ground. He hits a lot of heroes with that one. The Winner's Curse just saw him, though, and it pulled in Ace. Now they're going to be comboed up. Hook shot, though. It stops the follow-up stuns. Out from the Earthshaker. They kill. Another vacuum goes off. Refresher pop by X6S trying to get off the wall. He needs the wall. He needs the vacuum. He needs it now. And he gets it off towards the end, but there's no follow-through. Mickey, he kills XXS, and he's able to get away from these illusions, and we are back to a position where Liquid have the advantage, but they are having to battle through mega creeps to take advantage of this.
At least Boots of Travel to in Mickey's back pocket. He can clear some creeps and join a fight if you want to look for something here. You got some big buybacks out of XG.
There's also tier 5s for every single one of these heroes except for Mickey available. So
yeah, he needs... They need a little bit more here in terms of the control. Like, these heroes are kiting them out a little bit too much. His fights are getting way too chaotic, and if you just run into a fight like that with Stygian 2 on this Clinks, you're going to get absolutely shredded. Like, he is now the highest DPS hero in this game. A lot of the advantage for Liquid has come from some sick positioning from this Shadow Fiend. Like, these Requiem jumps have been game salvaging. The one on the base defense, the one there, you're picking up some big kills on the back of the fight. But it still feels like Ember is the most important piece of the puzzle here. If Nisha goes down, XG can kite the fights out a lot more. If Nisha's up, you're not kiting the fight. You're getting hookshotted. You're getting Remnant chained.
And we saw the time that he died, it was because he didn't have those remnants. If he gets 30 remnant recharge restore time, it just becomes too hard to deal with it. It's just, he jumps to the back line. He has, you know, a couple remnants he expends there to threaten the Winter Wyvern to try and kill the Hoodwink.
There's a Roche on the field, by the way. Liquid did not feel comfortable forcing it, even without the Darkseer. Pretty interesting here. They might have had a moment to do that. Again, how much does Roche matter at this point in the game when everybody's 6-slotted? Yeah. It becomes a little less enticing.
Yeah, Aegis is not the best.
I think it's honestly nice for Ame still. Just because he has been focused so heavily. It buys time for your teamfight combo to maybe land.
Yeah.
There's something.
He's looking at some finishing items here. Scotty, swap out the treads, pick up a Scotty. That'll make him significantly tankier. That'll pull him over 4,000 HP. Does that matter, though, when SF, if you catch the Clinks, SF is dealing like 1,500 damage crits. So.
Not really. I don't think it's saving you in that situation. Again, maybe it buys you time to get the combo off, like one more hit.
I mean, thanks to the multi-shot, the slow is very effective.
True. I think the biggest thing you can do as Ame in this game is just get in the fight, set up your army, and let it go to work. Yeah. And then even if you die, you're still doing so much damage with this Stygian pickup. But man, the Ghost Scepters have been annoying. The Aeon Discs have been annoying. The switcheroo from the Witch Doctor. It's so hard to kill these two Liquid supports. Even with Nullifier Hexes, it just doesn't... I guess there's Stampede on top of it too. There's a lot of interrupt here.
He's almost level 25 on the Witch Doctor.
Interesting 25 talents.
I mean, you're a 5, so what would you go in here? Would you go Paralyzing Cast Bounces? The opportunity from that?
I think so. I don't think the Death Ward damage
I don't think so
is too convincing for me here.
Again, so many AoE stuns.
Yeah, you're not playing that style of game. I don't know if you're channeling anything here.
Tofu's mostly been playing off of Aeon Disc, Ghost Scepter, blink in with Voodoo Restoration, and keep Centaur alive. I feel like that's what I've seen him do in most of these fights.
The cast bounces are also a little extra wave clear, which you just lost a tier 4 to Necrovox.
So Boxy's going to be throwing some cogs into the mix, actually kicks the Clinks out of the pit. I mean, Roshan is important more so just because it's an opportunity. It's some sort of crazy team fight. We're going to line out the Burning Army. Shiva's trying to keep these heroes back, not let them go inside the pit. Where Hoist? Perfect timing. Could he grab the Aegis, though? It's still on the ground. Ame is almost dead. Finally, the Aegis get dropped up, and they go for the grab, and Ame gets it, sure. But what a stun there from Ace, knocking up so many heroes. Mickey finally joins in with his bots too, and they've got Ame stuck inside the pit. He's currently trying to grab items. He pops a refresher shard. Meanwhile, they're wrapping around from the side. They spotted Xnova.
Mickey from the back.
He's gonna go try and kill Xnova. Didn't finish him off. Didn't get a crit. Got Winter's Curse held in place by the Bushwhack. Meanwhile, inside the pit, there is still Ame, still being held in place. He finally lost his Aegis. He got the kill. Now trying to get up. The SF is dead, and Ame's almost back into play. And the December Spirit is almost dead. Quick little refresher. Now the Cogs trying to get these heroes back, but it's not good. Ame's just doing too much damage. Even the Centaur is dying to him, and they don't have buybacks on these heroes. Ace fighting for his life, but the Bloodthorn will burst him down in the end. Liquid trying to push it too much. Buyback on 1, 18 seconds until the other two can come back into play.
But look at the thrown HP. It took so much damage there.
Yeah, they can just all in for it. Ame's just going to go for it now. The Glyph, they have the opportunity. Stall up Ame here. Ame chased away. They couldn't get the initiation. The buybacks, 3 seconds left.
So close on those
and the skeletons, Ame, he knows all he has to do is kite around Mickey. All he has to do is not die to the SF right now. He dodges that initiation.
You just go. They have no glyph.
Now they reset. Go all in for the throne. All they have to do is get past these liquid heroes, get around them, but Ace is making that difficult with his overwhelming blink. Now Nisha, he jumps to the back line, but a Bushwhack grabbed him. The vacuum on 3, and the combo once again. Ame and the rest of Xtreme will prove they can outfight you and take your throne afterwards.
What a late game performance from Xtreme Gaming. That has been their wheelhouse. When it works well. They drafted for it. They played for it. Some missteps along the way, some sick plays from...
I almost feel like if these teams don't show, in Xtreme's case, if they don't show they're good enough and clean enough to be able to 2-0 this, then are they good enough to take on Team Spirit?
I also think if you're Spirit, you like the slower games where you just get to play your style, out team fight people. And that game 1 was sloppy. It was long. Yeah. Neither team convincingly won it. You know, I think Spirit's biggest weakness is like the old gaming style, the old Liquid style when they were winning TI. Like, we're going to run you over in 30. You don't get to go to that late game. That was not a game where that was convincing at all. So
yeah, Liquid's refusing to play that kind of style in this patch. I mean, we're seeing Ace just go for the greediest builds possible.
No auras, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. We're not seeing the Crimsons. We're not seeing the Pipes. We're not seeing the early high ground. I think this is a lineup that could potentially do it on paper. You have Alk, you have Necrophos, you have Sustain, you have an Aura Fire in the Darkseer.
Is Ame dead? Ace didn't get inside of the cogs. If he had gotten inside of the cogs and they'd had a setup where they could have double ion shelled Ame for a little bit, he might have died there. But as it stands, he's going to be shoved out of lane. And look at Tofu. He's going to stick around if Ame thinks that he has free passage back to lane. Oh, wait. Tofu didn't? I thought for sure he was going to arrow him from the high ground, hit a bunch of right clicks on him with the Celestial Quiver, that extra bit of damage he's able to do, but no.
Don't want to let the equilibrium get controlled bottom too much. Mickey not getting early CS with an Alk. This lane could get pushed in pretty quickly, so you have to be wary of that. All eyes on this mid, though. You have a Necrophos against a Sand King. This is a very one-sided matchup. I expect Nisha to absolutely free farm. He should dominate this lane. He's going to be very bad. It's a very strong Necro pick. It's great against the Centaur, great against the Sand King here. Not bad against the Clinks, honestly, because he doesn't want to buy early Nullifier. Liquid really punished this first pick Centaur. We saw the strength of it in game 1, but this is not going to be nearly as easy a game. A lot of good matchups here that Liquid can abuse.
Nothing to say, struggling already. This is getting a little rough. Oh, that was a nice hit.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, not at all.
There's no way you can win this matchup. It's impossible. You're just hoping you get some stacks in the jungle that you can fall back on. And
get the ward, get the ward, get the ward. Okay, you got it. Nothing to say. Can maybe play a bit of lane with Sandstorm. Meanwhile, they actually do manage to get the kill there, running down FY. Whoa, what was going on there?
Trying to die to neutrals, but took a lot of damage from this Mirana. A nice little pickup for Tofu. Abusing that Celestial Quiver. Never underestimate it.
He felt pressured to TP? Was he TPing mid?
I'm not sure where he was TPing.
Maybe they were trying to catch Boxy when he was going for the pull on creeps, which he has done, and will pull the creeps all the way back behind the tower, out of Ame's reach. Get a half pull as well.
Still got the equilibrium bottom, so XXS, he's not going to suffer on this Centaur. Honestly, pretty nice start for him. The little linger top gave him a free wave, and it's kind of all you need. in some of these Alc matchups.
Yeah, we've seen the MO for this these Centaur games. It's just literally the 4 position, draws as much tension as possible, tries to give as much experience as possible to Centaur. As Centaur gets Helm of Iron Will, and then boom, you're free. The shackles are gone, and the 4 position can kind of do whatever they want.
Nothing to say, trying to survive through this Necropulse matchup. Doing fairly well early. You can get a couple more waves here, dodge a few more Death Pulses, he might be in the clear.
Yeah, at some point he just goes back to jungle, right?
Yep, 100%. You're looking for the level 3 Sandstorm, you're looking for 1 or 2 stacks, and you start going in there, you're very efficient. So it's not looking too bad for him. Playing quite well today. See what Liquid can make of this Darkseer. Now they have it in their hands. Not the same Wombo combo lineup.
No, not at all.
So very different style for Ace to play through here. But you do have a nice combo with the Clockwork in terms of playing faster on the map. You have a nice combination with Alchemist as you get an aura item up and he just runs in with his timing. Can be really overwhelming. Great surge target as well.
Nisha trying to bait a little bit. Nothing to say. Would love to get the kill, but 8 magic wand charges. Nisha may look like he is in danger of almost dying, but far from it.
I wonder if there's gank potential on this Necrophos. He is kind of low. I just don't think it's worth going for over just stacking consistently. If it backfires, it'll backfire real hard. At the same time, if you're Liquid, you have to expect to bring supports into this lane for the Reaper kill.
Yeah, I was thinking that
he can't get it on his own.
I was thinking way more for Liquid to rotate into that lane, but instead, the full rotation up to top lane. With the Iron Shells, managed to get 2 heroes inside the cogs. They have Blood Grenade on 2. Arrow to finish off at least X-Nova. Maybe Ame dies as well. Surge, Boxy, he wanted to commit for that kill, while Ace was trying to offer him a way out. In the end, Boxy sticks around too long and dies anyway, so support for support trade-off, which is fine for Xtreme, as long as Ame is alive.
Deathpack doing a little bit of work in this lane. You have that Lotus still in your back pocket, so some HP for Ame to work with, as the arrow will not connect here. Free farm for Mikke. Creating a lot of space for this Alchemist right now while you're pressuring the Klings. Not a bad MO for Liquid, as you know mid lane's free no matter what. NTS forced into the jungle very early.
Yeah, I kind of expected Liquid to go for this like back laning they were doing with Darkseer, and then move the Clockwork into that mid lane, right? Cut the wave, then he rotates in. He either one stops the Sand King from hitting neutrals. Oh, Mikke almost dying there from the gank.
I expect Boxy to start scouting the Sand King more. Yeah, they're going to scan him here. He's going to run in with an Obs and a Sentry. So this is where you want to look for him, because now you have the Reaper online and you have the Catapult Wave mid. So you know NTS is going to be pressured to respond to this in the mid lane. He does have Epicenter available.
Yeah, there's turnaround potential here.
Oh, you got to be a little wary.
Tofu feeling like with the Glyph being used, he needs to stop this bottom lane push. With the arrow, he kills the Siege Wagon. And with the leaps, he should be fine. Pretty hard for Centaur Dark Willow to stop him from pulling waves.
This means NTS will get to kill this wave for free, though. That's a pretty big win for Xtreme Gaming. Deal with the catapult timing, you're not getting Reapered here. You even have a chance at the power rune. He'll take it on X-Nova.
Got it on both sides. Amp damage for X-Nova.
Do they see Boxy here? He's going to kill a Curry. Now they see him. Annoying Clockwork that they'll have to play against for the second time in a row.
Blocking out the Ancients.
You got to get vision on some of these stacks. Like, you know they're coming. You definitely want to contest them this game if you can. You have very good heroes to contest it, especially if you can get the Alk in there. Currently has a couple stacks of his own, though. Mikke farming very efficiently. So, NTS gets all this uncontested. It's a big win for him in this game.
Yeah, there's not much pressure on mid. Like, X-Nova is taking the wave with no contest. Liquid just playing again to farm.
It's surprising for me. Maybe I still have this old idea of the team that they want to like play through mid super fast, abuse runes, abuse a winning mid matchup. They haven't really looked for it at all.
I think that Liquid is kind of dead.
Oh, all right.
I think maybe it's the introduction of Tofu Ace. Maybe it's a bit of the patch. They feel like it's not you can't play that way anymore. But Boxy, they'll go for kind of a suicide contest here. Onto the Wisdom. Maybe Tofu can still get something out of this. X-Nova gets low, but needed 2 more hits probably from the Mirana. Not good enough.
Feels like XG are getting the little wins here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're not supposed to be doing this well in this early game. Like that's my gut read. So the fact that NTS is as farmed as he is, you get to sit Ame top with some solo XP. You never gave this Centaur up in the early game. 0 deaths. He's going to have a fast helm. Feels like all your cores are kind of chilling right now.
Amadam almost done for Ace.
Need some more golem camps for this alchemist. That's what we need right now.
That's true.
Start stacking those golem creeps.
They do have incredible neutral farming, because even the supports can do it with Tofu.
They'll be able to hit a lot this game.
Clockwork can do it with Ion Shell put on him. So if they could just push lanes in all the time, Liquid will kind of out-farm you. Combination of both the Alk and Necro, plus the supports being able to do something. Boxy with his haste rune runs into the skeleton archers. Ame is going to retreat back through the gate here and pressure the alchemist. Here comes that epicenter. The chain stun allows the epicenter to do full point blank damage, and Ame is just here to take the tower.
Nice surprise move from Nothing to Say. They had no read on that at all, as the Necro's just been jungling. That's another reason I don't like Liquid giving up this pressure point mid in such a favorable matchup. Like, you're giving NTS some freedom to make some plays around the map that the Necrophos does have boots travel now. You can respond, but there's no response on a play like that. There's no turnaround potential. Your damage is a little low in this early game with the supports. You need Ion Shell in these plays to take those favorable skirmishes. You know, it's the kind of thing you wish you could, like, Ion Shell Boxy and TP him in somewhere and look for some sort of turnaround. That play happens too fast.
Look at Nisha. Pretty fearless, man.
He should be. He should be fearless in this game. He needs to play aggressive. He needs to take space away from Xtreme Gaming and abuse his position.
I mean, this is a pretty insane blow to the economy.
Oh yeah, these are
taking this
double,
big of double stacks.
XG just not protecting this at all, and this is what you want to see out of Liquid. Stack contesting, take it away from the Sand King.
Ame's also doing kind of the same. He's not taking stacks, but he is trying to take some of Alex's farm, which is a nice idea.
He's taking the golems.
And the Reaper's Sight kill, not quite there.
Is there still a Death Pulse flying? No.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay, it just disappeared.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I didn't see the Death Pulse connect.
Yeah, that was weird.
Centaur pressuring Alchemist.
Give it enough farm, and that matchup does start going the other way.
For sure,
right?
for sure.
But right now, Mickey with no Radiance, he is not a threat.
Really solid levels on Tofu. Where did he get all these levels from? It's almost level 7.
Well, picked up the last hit on 2 different kills, so I don't remember the kills, but maybe he got solo experience for 1 or 2 of them.
Must have eaten one of the shrines here, yeah. He's a big boy. Let's start farming up.
And Nisha's still taking those camps. They're no longer Lornoff camps, they're now Nisha camps.
Is that the official term for it?
Apparently.
Did Lornoff tell you that?
No.
Oh.
Don't think I've ever spoken to Lornoff in my life, so. Maybe that'll change this tournament.
Yeah,
Don't think the Galaxy is doing very well.
Oh, look at this, though. Liquid starting to take some of those top net worth positions. This is what we expected from the triple uber fast farming lineup. Maybe it's XG who should have been a little worried about contesting stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. You couldn't really contest things until, you know, Nothing to Say was actually online. He had a bad lane. Now that you have Blink Dagger, though, it is about time to start amping up the tempo a little bit.
This is still the part of the game where you can kill the Necrophos.
Yep.
You bring supports behind the Sand King with a Stampede. That window will close pretty quickly in this game if you don't find those 1 or 2 cheeky kills. Kind of same with the Alchemist here.
Yeah.
And again, I would love to see Ace just go ores this game. Get the pipe up. Potentially even a Lotus Orb. And just buff your other 2 cores. Make them invincible in that front line. You're going to cause XG a lot of problems.
It's already kind of looking like, though, this is going to be like a 3-headed Hydra problem for Xtreme Gaming. You have one big playmaker that can kill a hero. It's kind of long cooldown. And it's not guaranteed. You really need some follow-up to it. He wants to use his epicenter somewhere. Is he going to kill the Alk, the Necro, or the Darkseer, who are all shoving lanes, who are all farming very efficiently, who are all working towards, you know, it's only going to get worse when you have double Radiance.
This is one of those games where, should you even go the Blink on the Sand King? Are those opportunities going to even be there? As he finds an opportunity. So, there you go. Quick little support pickup. will bring the supports into the game. Like, I think you want Blink on sinking at some point in this game.
Ooh, tried to catch Ame, got him on the wall, but because of the Stampede, the slow does nothing to him. And he's able to run out, and that'll be Ame completing his Deso very soon. So if they can get these Epicenter pickoffs, and Ame's involved with them, they're going to get a pickoff without the Deso here.
Okay.
And Ace returned back to lane there, thinking
and the creep.
be safe.
It felt like one of those games you weren't going to find these Blink kills, and then he just finds 2 of them. Pretty nice pickups for NTS. That will finish the Deso for the Clinks, as you mentioned, and now they're kind of cruising around the map. Now you have some damage to bring these big boys down before some of the tanky items come out. Is this going to be a double Radiance lineup? That's a lot of investment in farm. You lose a little overlap in the fight, which means you're going to be susceptible for those 5 or so minutes where you're trying to use those Radiances to get the next set of items. That's when I would want to see XG strike if they're going to strike in this game.
Yeah, that's for me where the Blink Dagger is like, yeah, it's a no-brainer, right? Like, Radiant's high damage, but these heroes are going to be incredibly squishy. One good initiation, they're just gone. So
Stampede definitely helps as well.
Yeah.
It's going to change the dynamic for the Clinks a lot. I think last game Liquid abused the fact that once you got on top of this Clinks, he was kind of just dead in the water. Like, he got hookshot cogged, some random stun lands. He has a pike, and that was his only disengage. Here, you can Stampede him away. He can reset. Ame can then choose to either go back in or maybe dodge some more spells. That's going to be nice for him. I think last game he didn't really have that sort of support. I guess you could have surged him. That's not usually the best get out of jail card, though.
I mean, correct me if I'm not wrong here, but like Liquid haven't used Moonlight Shadow at all, right?
He had it very early too, potentially.
Yeah, that says so much about Liquid's like mindset for this game. Like, no aggressive actions whatsoever. Just Nisha plays in their side of the jungle, trying to, you know, just win the farm battle. Tofu taking some camps here to win the farm battle.
They're just farming.
Anything to keep these cores in safe positions, successfully getting their Radiances and farming with it. And Xtreme, they got to be the ones to hunt things down. The onus is on them. With a pipe picked up for XXS, they are not to be trifled with when it comes to team fights. But Liquid's not going to take those team fights. That's where the pickoffs come into play. Nothing to say. Finally does get a pickoff with his Epicenter. Kills the Alchemist. Being able to do that at the same time as taking mid tower, that's a nice bit of efficiency for Xtreme.
It just feels like Liquid are saying, do whatever you want. We don't care.
Oh, and Ame's setting up for a third opportunity here. Ace is going to die off of Nothing to Say, TPing back, Burrow Strike, and once again, they got the Darkseer and his creep.
That's all Arcane Rune for the Sand King, by the way. So he has another Epicenter in 50 seconds here.
That's sick. And
this feels too free for me. Like, it's not that you're falling behind, but there's just no pressure on the map. Liquid are conceding the entire first 20 minutes here and just banking on the fact that these 3 super farmers are eventually going to kick in and scale. Interesting approach. If XG continue to find big pickoffs, particularly through the Sand King, I think they're going to feel smooth about the momentum in this game. And it can quickly turn into, oh, suddenly we're taking Roshan because we killed one of your cores with this Deso Clink.
Ace caught inside the Bramble, Terrorize, and with Ame, both between the Strafe and the Burning Barrage. He doesn't actually use the Burning Barrage, but still, FY is able to run him down thanks to the Stampede, Shadow Realm, and Bedlam. It's got some decent heroes to utilize the Stampede.
They really do.
Sand King likes it a lot to keep close to heroes with Epicenter. Dark Willow sometimes has a problem closing that gap to actually use Bedlam.
Oh, you didn't see him there. Nice little hiding spot from FY. Wait till his TP's back up, and he's out of there. Very farmed, by the way, on this Dark Willow. Already has full Distiller, almost an entire Glimmercade. He's cruising in this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think you can Roche already if you're XG. You have Pipe on Centaur. You have the Clinks damage. You got an Alpha Wolf as well off the Dom creep. They might be eyeing it up down here.
Yeah, they're not. Liquid's not going to contest you, and
yeah, I like this.
Ame has enough damage that it's not going to be too slow.
This is the downside of just farming if you're on the side of Liquid. You're going to concede some objectives here, maybe earlier than you would like.
Right, the problem may not be this Aegis. It's going to be the second Roshan is really fast. They can use that banner to go high ground, right? That's...
I don't know about that. I don't know if we're seeing that early to high ground, but...
yeah, it is extreme gaming.
Yeah. So they're going to stop it because of the rocket flare. They feel that Liquid are contesting. However, Liquid are not contesting. They're not contesting.
They're not going to contest. They will get the pickoff on Tofu. At least they get something for their efforts, because I don't love that slowing down too much, but...
It's Deso charges. I think he's had more charges in this game than he had, going 40 minutes into that other one. Straight back into the Roche. Boxy, he gets found on the side. He has to hook shot out. Okay, that's a green light to finish this one up.
There's definitely nothing stopping it now, and they might even kill Boxy. Xnova, well, he's got no daggers to slow down Boxy. Boxy's probably going to get enough distance. The wheel doesn't quite land, and the Cox doesn't push back FY. So now he's going to die underneath the wheel, and the Urn actually got taken away as well.
He's mega poor.
And Xtreme keep on getting these little +1s to everything. Every Darkseer kill gets a Helmet Dom creep as well, getting that Courier pick off. It adds up, and it's keeping the net worth very even, despite the fact that it is a Necro Alchemist double Radiance lineup. Again, they should be out farming you on the enemy team, but Xtreme, they're getting enough early kills, enough objectives taken. Put them in a good spot. Now with the Aghanim Scepter done nice and early, Nisha.
Teleport canceled.
He's going to kill.
He didn't want to cancel.
We didn't actually get him the Strongman Potion. It's going to keep him alive a lot longer. And now Xtreme Gaming are going to come and collect the kill. Yet another Deso charge up to 8 for Ame.
Okay, maybe Liquid find something.
Centaur trying to get a kill, and they will get him eventually here. Terrorize almost stops him in time. Boxy interrupts that one. Hook shot in. Cox pushing back FY into an awkward spot here. Though I think there was enough TPs that they're afraid to keep fighting into Xtreme, understandably so. They just back up the farm. Oh, wait. Ame, he spotted that unstable concoction pop. He knows he's under vision. The creep also spoils it. Not going to lose the Aegis here. Unicycle initiation. Xnova misses the dagger.
Careful there, brother.
Yeah.
Nice play around the map. At least Liquid get one core kill in this early game. We're losing this Necro. This Necro, folks, is super high level, by the way. Because he's just been purely farming, he was highest level by a couple. Level 15 there. That's a lot of XP swinging XG's way.
He really took that kill for granted. Was it the Shawl? I mean, it had to have been. That was a level 2 Reaper's Scythe. Just an extra bit of magic resistance makes the difference.
Oh, Glimmer Capes are going to be amazing for both teams in this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of utility that can go a long way.
It's that is almost Nisha online. Not with the Glimmer Cape, with the Consecrated Ramp. Similar idea here.
We'll delay his BKB. I think it feels bad to just go straight BKB here. It's a very good BKB game. You have to think about the Alex
trying to go for the epicenter kill. They wanted the Necro. Will have to content themselves with the Darkseer. Still got it. Terrorize pushing back some of these heroes. No immediate response. In fact, Alchemist is even going to call it quits here. Mickey says, that's just more time for me to farm. I don't want to join in some fight without a BKB being done, which it is just finishing up.
You have to fight on your timings as Alch. You can't get dragged in the fights you don't want to join or you're not ready to. He's very strong on the map. You got to remember, this is an Alchemist with potential Ion Surge plus Shell plus a Moonlight Shadow initiation. Some extra heal from the Necropos. He's got a lot of buffs behind him to play with right now. He's a tanky boy with that level 2 ultimate.
Liquid with their triple item pickup timing. All 3 of their cores are online for the early game. They're going to make their first real big offensive move to kill Ame, take away his Aegis. Counter initiation boxing. It's a beautiful Cogs, locking in 2 different heroes. Ame's about to come back up. Can the wheel stop? It got 2 on the wheel, and that's beautiful with the Stampede getting Ame out of there, away from the Alchemist. What a reset. Now Xtreme still going to be chased down on some of these heroes, though, as the Alchemist keeps the Centaur within reach, constantly slowing him down. Xtreme Gaming, this is going to be a good whip. Decent amount of damage. Maybe they think about coming back in with the Reaper Sight being popped. They finish off the Centaur. Boxy, the box saving XXS. They pop the vacuum wall, slowing down these heroes. Now a potion being used by Xnova as well. Now they jump in for the Alchemist, though. And these heroes are so damn low. Liquid might still be able to finish them up. They run down one. XXS trapped in a corner. No way out here. It will be a third. Xtreme Gaming did a good job of fighting back a little bit there. But ultimately, it's just Liquid a bit too strong in their timing will win the fight.
The irony is, the supports had such a good early game, they both had kill streaks there. So a little bonus gold going Liquid's way. Some of the streak went to Mickey, some went to Ace, and they get that big Centaur kill at the end. Decent gold exchange straight into Tormentor. Very nice sequence for Liquid. Power of the Alch BKB. You're just running at them the whole time, holding this BKB, daring you to commit for the turnaround. And there is no turnaround because you don't have Epicenter there. You used it on that mid kill. It was still on cooldown. We're going to see NTS come in on the second half of this fight. He gets a burrow here on the Clockwork. He has an amp damage. But with no epicenter, they're just ignoring it. Like, yeah, whatever. You can sit on the side of the fight. We are going to implement the great strategy of walk at you.
Back-to-back pickoffs potentially. Oh, the Croaker interrupted things a bit there.
Another whiffed epi.
Yeah, that is not great. Ame did also get the pickoff on Tofu with the reveal of the Orchid.
Something. Big wins for Liquid here, though, in the last few minutes. This is what their lineup wants to do. Hit these mid-game timings that are just unstoppable. Too much HP, too much regen. BKBs are super strong. You don't have that super scaling yet. These are the fights that are going to cause Xtreme Gaming problems. And we'll see how this Roche lines up because they did it super early. This second one is going to be pretty quick here, and that could be really nice for Liquid in the end. They could be like, oh, thank you for accelerating this for us. We'll take a 25-minute banner Aegis and just run down a lane. There's potential for some fast pushes in this game.
Yeah, it requires to really feel confident about it. You got to finish up the BKB on Nisha. Right, the Clink's damage won't be so overwhelming. So if he can get to that BKB, maybe the Shivas can be done on Ace.
I could see it working out here. They already have Pipe. They already have Greaves. You can potentially get to AC on Alk.
Yeah, you put together the double armor items, and
it'll be there. At the 30 minutes for sure, you win that Roche, you could have all these auras plus an Aegis plus a banner. And what are actually going to do with that? They have to just throw the Sand King Epicenter into that amount of HP?
Which I do think...
spell, not that strong.
It makes the decision-making for Liquid very interesting here, right? Like, they actually opted to smoke and make a play here. They moved to the Necrophos. Ooh, missed hook shot there from Boxy.
That was probably the easiest one to hit of the whole day, too.
That's true. And this kind of spoils everything here. All right, back to farming.
Definitely an awkward time to make that play when there's no objective to fall back on. Little sad about that, but this should get your Necrophos to the BKB.
But it does slow down both Ace and Mickey, getting their two very crucial armor items. I don't know, I just felt like the timing of that smoke was like... I feel like you look at that Roshan timer, you see 2 minutes till it potentially spawns, you say, okay, that's 2 minutes of farm. You know?
It's definitely a little awkward. But you always have Moonlight Shadow to create some extra smokes for you. That helps a little bit.
That is true.
But that was
very high.
That was some missed Radiance farming time, that's for sure.
High level Tofu, level 12. Every single time I look at this guy, he is clearing through some sort of camp with Starstorm.
So race to BKBs for Liquid, and honestly a race to level 20 for NTS here. I think that's the biggest teamfight upgrade for Xtreme Gaming.
Yeah.
That Epicenter talent. Get BKB on him, you're level 20, and suddenly maybe this Epicenter can just cut through some of the HP pools here, particularly if you can land some chain stuns. This is not the same ease of execution Wombo combo as their lineup in game 1, but it's still there. If you get caught in a 2 or 3 man stun by Centaur Sand King, it's going to get chained by the Dark Willow. You can get chained into the Wheel of Wonder. There is a lot of potential chain stun follow-up you have to be careful of in this game.
It's funny, you talked about the difference of playstyle for both offlaners, right? Because XXS has just completed a heart, but he's not in the same position as Ace's Centaur because he's matched up against the Necro. So as much HP as you get, it's only half as effective against that Reaper Scythe. So he's not going to be able to just kind of like go in there and be like, oh, go on me. If you do, you lose the fight.
He has to play more for the team.
Yeah.
They committed a lot of counter picks to this first pick Centaur. So you just have to recognize that and not play too greedy, not play for yourself too much. Play through your other cores.
Knowing that, though, do you think the heart is still the right choice? Like, is it a necessity for this hero to scale?
This hero feels real bad without it, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. He's going to be a bit of a faster Roshan, not that either team knows this. That does result in it being firmly on the Dire side, which is to Xtreme Gaming's favor.
They're going to group up here and smoke. They have BKB on the Sand King, but he couldn't hit that level 20. Probably needed way more ancient stacking or something to get there this early in the game. However, Nisha, he gets his BKB and he is level 20, so get a nice talent for himself. Not as impactful, but a little cherry on top.
Tofu playing. Oh, what a backstab! The Mud Golem stops the TP here. He's going to Moonlight Shadow.
Oh, the mud
He
golem.
ran one direction, Moonlight Shadows, then runs the other direction, successfully juking out much of Xtreme for now. Nothing to say, just throwing blind burrow strikes out there. Looks like Tofu is away, and look at the rest of Liquid. They are squaring up, and they're going to go straight for Ame. They had vision on him. They're going to hit Unstable Concoction, the wheel, the box. Maybe that can get Ame out of here alongside the Stampede. Force Staff over the cliff, and away he goes. Now he's so low. He can't really fight into this one. He has to just go for a
Liquid
desperate
used
TP away, and he
BKBs.
does manage to get it. BKBs were used. Xtreme Gaming get out with only one support loss. Honestly, that's a win considering how it started.
That's a huge win. Well, the Reaper was being thrown. I mean, that's a dead Clinks 100% because the box was already used. And you somehow got him out of there with the power of the Hurricane Pike Force Staff. I do think there was an opportunity to maybe turn that. I don't know how well it worked out, but that's the type of scenario that Liquid have to be careful in. You're chasing after the BKBs are down. And of course, it all starts with the Mud Golem, the hero that actually needed. But he has no dust, so he can't see anything.
That is true.
You start on this Clinks every time you can.
Yeah.
Like, that is the best target to find. He gets barely bailed out here.
Two different fights that Xnova has had some clutch saves, and it's something Liquid are really going to have to start considering.
I think if you have the level 20 talent on Sand King, you might turn that.
Yeah.
BKB's down, you go in with all those epicenter pulses, you're going to do some serious work. But that timing was not there. Liquid know it. They're going to play very aggressive. Roche is available in the bottom pit here for another minute and a half before it switches sides. That is something that Xtreme Gaming need to think about right now. Do you want to force the Roche again?
Foxy's hanging around. As long as he is alive and rocket flaring the pit, we saw how timid Xtreme Gaming was about it earlier. Trying to make a move on this Necrophos. The team is not coming through the gate or anything.
Just trying to get a BKB or some response out of Liquid. They do get the Moonlight Shadow. Wasn't worth nothing here.
Yeah, they're going to use the remnants of this Moonlight Shadow to make it go on mid. Nothing to say. Arrow goes out. They spot him, but he's too far away. He's burrow struck. He's up to the high ground. Dangerous proposition. Even with knowing that Ame isn't here, knowing that he's top lane. Sand King.
I think the Liquid timing's better right now, but it will not be in a few minutes. This Clinks is close to full Daedalus. So if you give him a pick off here into Roche, this game is going to become a lot more difficult.
Yeah, full Daedalus combined with level 20 on Nothing to Say. That is a massive power spike for this team.
They're very close.
I think Liquid still look pretty good if they can get the initiation, but how do they get that initiation over the Sand King? They got to stop him from epicentering. They run into Tofu. That's very nice.
Is that enough to do Roche here?
Quick pick.
No, it's 15 seconds, so it's going to change sides no matter what.
Yeah, that will almost guarantee Tofu will be back up and able to play the Roshan fight. And that just means a few more seconds for Liquid's cores to farm. Level 20 on the Alk. BAT upgrade.
Radiant's
Lotus Orb, Nisha, once that, I mean, you have to have Dispels against the Bloodthorn. Not that he has it yet, it's just the Orchid for now.
We're going to see just how tanky this Liquid lineup is. They might just run into the Buzzsaw if they clump up into the Sand King spells. They can start on NTS, that sounds pretty nice. It's going to be hard for him to disengage and then reinitiate.
Combo is definitely not the same for Liquid off of the Darkseer as it was in game one. That is for sure. The best play is Vacuum Unstable Concoction, which very much could happen.
It's not the worst stun to throw into it because it tracks the guy.
Yep.
I wonder if there was any argument to go like Shiva's on this hero, this game for extra AoE, but it's probably way too minor of a value point to overlook the armor.
Plus, yeah, your whole team appreciates the AC armor.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
They really want to pick off into Roshan here.
Yeah, they are not finding it. Xtreme Gaming are not even anywhere close to the pit.
They just
left the helmet
Warpine in the pit. They're going to scout this Roche the second it gets done. Boxing slowly killing with battery.
Yeah, you got to kill this thing just to force Xtreme Gaming not to play the map as much as they're doing right now.
They're farming a lot.
Oh, Nothing to Say blinked in there. Oh, got the Burrow Strike off before the Unstable Concoction, but Ace is there on the other side with a Vacuum. BKB has to be used by Nothing to Say. The Dark Willow, Glimmer Cape does not get off the Terrorize. So it's a pickoff, but not a core pickoff.
They're looking for Ame bottom.
Oh,
Remember, he has no BKB here if he gets Found on
Unstable
detection.
concoction. Mickey hits him with the bash. Reaper side closing in. He's gone. Okay, now Liquid have the opening to go for Roshan while Ame is down. It's not totally free because, again, the epicenter is very spooky.
You have BKBs though. That's the biggest thing. If you have BKBs available, you can mana for these objectives. You're not going to get bursted before you're able to pop that, get the health regen going, and turn that fight around. Without Ame, you don't have the overwhelming physical to burst these targets, so I think this is absolutely the right call. I doubt we'll see XG contest this.
Yeah.
Way too difficult to make anything happen here.
Nothing to say. He's already on the other side of the map. He's going to push in that wave, try and get his Shivas for the fight they're going to have to take against this Aegis. As I imagine, Liquid will start mounting up some pressure on objectives off of this.
Absolutely. Can try and go high ground here. Your lineup's built for it. Give Aegis to the Necrophos. Is the slots available? Not too bad. And Banner as well. So high ground, wide open for Liquid. As long as you don't clump into the big AoE, the fight, it doesn't look that difficult. You're just kind of worried about some Klink's Daedalus hits going through.
Oh,
nice hook shot.
Nice blind hook shot there from Boxy. There almost followed up, but Xnova does get a bit of distance. Hit by the unstable concoction, and he's punched once by Mickey, twice to finish it off.
You have a wave up here as well. I'd be really tempted to just send it here.
Even just to like force them back. You don't have to like take full lane. You've got 4.5 minutes on Aegis, but well, man, Darkseer has already made his move to defend bottom. So it looks like they're taking this tier 2 and getting out. Again, corralling in the map as much as possible, trying to make it small. Xtreme Gaming, it's their turn to try and dodge fights, rat out the map, and play off of pickoffs, which is where Klink's specialty is, both the rat and the pickoff.
I'm a little worried for Liquid scale if the Sand King gets to, 25 bash or refresher. I think double epicenter going into this lineup. At that point, you're a little worried about your sustain.
Yeah, do you feel that way because the Ags for Liquid are not amazing? Necro is very good, but I feel like Darkseer in this game is pretty whatever. Mirana's going to build it herself anyway. Clockwork Ags, eh.
I guess that doesn't help too much.
Like, that's a big component for Alchemist lineups late.
For sure.
Right? Ace does get spotted here, but he's baiting it out. He wants to take this fight. They're already going to make the jump. Necrophos in some trouble. He's going to lose Aegis here. Meanwhile, they're going on the Centaur. Managed to Abyssal Blade him during the Stampede. Let's see if Boxy can catch him. Hookshot over to the side with the arrow on Ame. Yeah, Tofu is killing him solo right now. He's running him down. Had to use the box epicenter, everything they can. And Tofu's going to make the leap away. And Ame is still going to be caught by an unstable concoction. Reaper's Sight. Tofu, the hero of that fight. I mean, Liquid probably win that anyway, but they get the Klink's kill because of that arrow.
What a sick find from Tofu. He has the shard too. You look at the death summary for Ame, it's Mirana.
Yeah.
It's just 2,000 damage from Mirana with 9 quiver hits, 4 Starstorm procs, a max duration arrow. He had his number and punched it.
And look at the damage difference. Xtreme did 2,000 more damage in this fight. But it was a very one-sided fight. Liquid's heroes are so tanky right now.
Ame just doesn't even see this arrow because you're looking to the right side of your screen right here.
Oh, he runs into it off the Stampede. He was resetting.
So much damage.
Back in real time, Boxy's already made his initiation. He said, any hero that shows up, we're making the go while Ame's dead. They saw Centaur and they went for it. Now Boxy's still trying to hold him back here. This Centaur is so tanky. Without the Reaper's Scythe, it's not an easy kill. Liquid will lose much of their momentum hitting this high ground now.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah, they have no epicenter, but you have no Reaper.
Yeah.
So just the fight gets really weird as neither team can really kill the big targets on the front line. Got to respect these big ultimates.
Nisha is level 25 at 36 minutes, though. This sustain is out of control. I mean, they have to get him first. Otherwise, these death pulses, it's just too much HP, too much damage over time.
I think you just pool Mags right now.
I think so, too, yeah.
Like, he's so beastly, so high level, so fast. He already has the heart. You pull him in Nags, it's doing a crap ton of damage. Him just existing in the fight will win you the fight at that point. And your options to all in him are just to throw all of your big AoE ultimates on the Necrophos, which means if he survives and that backfires, you're absolutely screwed in the 5-on-5 engagement.
Yes. At the same time, Liquid don't have any saves, really. They have Glimmer Cape for Boxy, but they have nothing hard save, which may be something they have to consider in the future.
Get a Wind Waker or something.
Yeah, Wind Waker on the supports. I mean, Tofu's gonna have the farm for it. Like, he is.
I think he is gonna go
12,000 net worth. Yeah, he's already built up Yules, so good choice.
Too good in this game. It's gonna force even more Nullifier presence. They only have one potential Nullifier buyer in this game, and it is the Clinks, who's also trying to get to MKB and BKB. A couple Conjurer's Catalyst. That is a insane Conjurer's Catalyst for NTS.
Oh, yeah. Imagine he rolls and he doesn't get it.
Well, he did get it here. He's very happy about that.
Meanwhile, Nisha. Ooh, his options are terrible. My goodness. I mean, he would want Conjurer's Catalyst, right? But he also would love to have the Pendulum. Right? Anything that keeps him alive is worth its weight in gold.
I think the Rattle Cage, honestly, is a little underrated on these heroes that just tank a huge amount of damage.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he's going to be the focus. It's going to bounce back a lot of damage. He went for the Idol. So, slow resistance is value. Evasion, very good.
I think him being able to gain the evasion against the Clinks, he also has Quicken, so he can go up to like 50% evasion here. Pretty nice.
Wow, that is a lot. Now, Ame already had the idea. He wanted to build MKB. He doesn't want to rely on Bloodthorn to be able to get through this, which is fair enough, but it's a long ways away. He's trying to finish off his BKB right now, and here comes the smoke of Liquid. Making his way. They're going to crash into XXS, who was a high ground ward. Actually stomped in there. Hit a stomp.
Epi coming.
Here comes the Epicenter, going for ace. Take out that team fighter and get
damage.
the Boxy kill as well. And look at, Mickey went down to half health. Now, here comes their turnaround. Nisha's going to start popping those death pulses, healing up the Alchemist.
They can't sustain it, though.
No, they can't keep this up. With BKBs now being on cooldown, the hit from Nothing to Say, that damage was insane, and it was an arcane rune. So the Epicenter is going to be back up very soon.
He had the basher for it, and that's the power of the Conjurer's Catalyst. It just starts proccing on everybody there. A nasty amount of damage. If the Alk gets caught in that Wheel of Wonder, that fight is completely over for Liquid. They had to buy the clock. They lost the Darkseer. Yeah, you have these death pulses, but they're not coming out fast enough.
And especially with Ace so far forward here, blinking forward off the smoke break. And he is food. And again, no saves are even possible from these supports.
I mean, Mickey's lucky he doesn't get chain stun. That's very close. You're thinking about Reaper and Centaur, but they're still the box. They're still glimmers. It's not that straightforward. And that was with an Ags pool to the Necropos. He had it going into that fight. A huge upgrade for Liquid. Not being able to run that over.
It does feel like this is going to be a persistent problem for Liquid. A combination of there's always going to be, I think, better initiation for Xtreme Gaming, and Xtreme Gaming also have the save advantage, where you do not. Until super late game, where you're able to itemize your way out of it, those are two massive advantages for Xtreme.
Escape Act is super annoying in a game like this. Again, it forces you to buy the Nullifier. Does the Alchemist want to buy the Nullifier? It's like a broken record at this point. Nobody wants to buy this item. And if you don't, you're like, man, I wish I bought Nullifier.
Yeah.
He can disassemble Radiance here. It's very easy for Mickey to pick it up if he wants it. No one else on the team is likely going to buy it. I guess you could argue Mirana can get it too. Like, your options are either Wind Waker or Nullifier. It's kind of the strength this hero gives you. Her spells aren't that great, but she can farm a lot. She can buy some extra utility. Otherwise, yeah, you just have to deal with this Escape Act. Man, think about if Ringmaster ever gets an Ags in this game. And honestly, he has 3,000 gold. He's not that far from it.
That's true.
Double box would just be insanely debilitating. It means whoever you go on first gets boxed, and you have a backup one for the Reaper Scythe.
Yep.
At that point, the fight becomes really difficult to play.
Oh, also, just like even just a small little window means that Stampede BKB could go off, and you have not like Nullifier
for sure
interact anything with that. So it's going to have to be perfect for Liquid, that initiation. The one advantage I feel like Liquid will have is vision, presumably, as that's kind of what the Clockwork gives you.
And the Mirana.
And the Mirana with the Moonlight Shadow.
You should be able to find some nice vision angles.
So it's all about trying to break down Xtreme Gaming. The reason that the last fight went so well for them, they were set up on a high ground ward.
For sure. Again, though, I'm just thinking about the scale. Like, the double box, the double epicenter with the 25.
Yeah.
It's spooky, man. It's really hard to play these kind of sustain lineups into the ultra late if you can't hit that mid-game timing. They're going to try and poke the Roshan here, force XG into them. You can potentially abuse buybacks on an outpost fight if you have them here on the side of Liquid and just wear through the ultimates. They only have the Necrophos right now, but the Alk could have his.
Xtreme's going to see the Necro bottom lane and immediately make the push. But Necro has already TP'd to the tier 2. He's going to join his team up in the triangle area.
He has the big buyback here for Liquid. So even if you all in Nisha, that fight might not go your way. Get scouted here by Boxy. Annoying clockwork as usual. What can you do about it? Absolutely nothing.
Again, every little bit of information, it's an instant decision from both teams to go for a smoke play. Liquid pop theirs off of Boxy showing some of these heroes. Arrow comes out. Doesn't see anything though.
Gonna send the Alchemist in. He's your initiator here.
Leading the charge.
What can Mickey find? He wants to find the Sand King or the Klink Smite. Just find the Sand King.
Would be beautiful, but he's already blinked away. Nothing to say. Very quick on that one. Unstable concoction, self-explosion, little courier, little helmet dom creep, Boxy trying to jetpack in, and they're pushing Xtreme Gaming farther and farther back. Xtreme Gaming's gonna smoke now, and they're not spotted by that rocket flare.
They maneuvered this pretty nicely.
Yeah, they really did. They're getting around Liquid.
Moonlight's out.
Liquid presumably have no idea where they are right now. They pushed up to the top of the map.
Oh, and look at this ward.
It's not there.
This ward is scouting right now on Dire side. There's no gem here.
This could be a beautiful opportunity for them to ramp back into their own jungle.
If they can
full circle back around to go for Mick A. And here comes the stomp. They managed to get off the chemical range, but here comes the epicenter blowing him up inside of that epicenter. They got him, and once again, they'll get the +1 on the Boxy. And Liquid, they're going to have to BKB, nothing to say, hoping he could bash. Nah, he's not going to get that. Beautiful movement there from Xtreme. Well, managed to get the vision on him. Anything? No.
Still going to the pit.
Roshan, available for the taking for Xtreme.
What a huge ward. That's why we see a lot of teams buy gem.
Yeah.
Like, you leave these wards up, you can pay a big price. Sick outmaneuver from XG. Like, they disengaged super well, got that smoke off just in time. They played around all the vision mechanics from Liquid and still had an advantage going into this fight. And the second you chain stun out there, it's too much damage. That's where you wish you had the escape pact, right? There's no bailout. You don't have the Wind Wakers yet.
Oh, look at this. Mana from heaven. They're going to take this Roshan, grab all the items, and then on their way,
juicy.
And amp damage.
Real juicy here. Ame is peaking right now. Bloodthorn done, Daedalus done. He has all the Deso charges in the world. Now an amp damage on top of that.
Yeah, all that's left is him getting his 25, which he is so close to, but won't have just yet.
Did get to the Sand Kings though, and they got Refresher Shard. So NTS, he's not gonna have to buy Alpha Refresher. He just gets it gifted to him. This is accelerating that timing by a large margin. They're down 5 or 6K. It does not feel like it.
No, they are definitely the ones winning this game right now, and perhaps for, I don't know, for the rest of the game. You sound pretty doubtful of Liquid's late game here.
I just think it's going to be hard for them to all in heroes, and that's what their lineup has to do.
Yeah, more tools for Xtreme Gaming in those team fights for sure.
You already have Ags on this Ringmaster. If they don't find X-Nova, worried about the Alk and Necro committing onto a target, because what happens is you go in with these heroes, you have to make a very quick call. Do I pop BKB or do I risk getting chain stun?
How does nobody on Liquid still not have detection? I mean, like, no gem, really. Like, you got to make sure you're not underneath these wards. Tofu spots the sentry up in their high ground. Here comes the wrap, though. They're going to quickly kill the Dark Willow. Box attempted. Spots X Nova. They're going to go for the Ringmaster. Here comes that epicenter. Trying to blow up Nisha. Not as easy of a kill as it was that Alchemist from before. Man, still managed X Nova. They have to Reaper Scythe him just to make sure he goes down. Back to that Dark Willow, who bought back, TP'd into that fight.
As a dieback.
FY, that is not a great decision for him. A dieback. Very awkward.
They used a Refresher Shard too? Yeah, to refresh for an Epi that never got thrown out. Nice angles from Liquid. Finding multiple points of attack, that's what worked for them in the game 1 as well. Just trying to separate this big AoE team fight, and they're able to dodge most of the Epi damage with some nice sustained BKBs. Exactly what you're looking for. Now you have an opening. Still an Epicenter available because of that Refresher Shard. So you have to be wary with BKBs on cooldown, but you have a banner here.
A big wave that's really going to help Necrophos. Not going to be the fastest pusher, but with this many creeps,
it's pretty good.
Speed things up a little bit.
You have a gem now too on Boxy. Pretty nice.
It does mean the siege wagons will stay invulnerable when it comes to hitting the barracks.
Who wants to go up and start swinging though?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to go up that hill.
It meant Liquid could have kept some sort of prolonged siege situation, but they say it's not worth it. Ultimately, the Dark Willow is only so much of the team fight of Xtreme.
I think XG get baited by Tofu a little bit here. He gives a lot of information for Liquid in terms of the vision.
It's very different when like X-Nova is one of the first heroes you see if you're Liquid, right?
Yes, you baited in the formation a little bit, which lets you jump this Ringmaster, and he has to double box himself, which is just a disaster for Xtreme Gaming. Those cores are able to connect in the exact point of the fight they want to.
We also saw like it wasn't just a Burrow Strike Epicenter initiation at the top of the fight, right? It was on a fight that it was already going on. I think Nisha, for example, had already popped his Ghost Shroud before he got hit by the Burrow. So he dodged a lot of those stingers.
And there comes a little more scale. Another Ags pooled to the Darkseer this time.
What do you think about that?
They get a punch. It's either him or the Clockwork. I'd say his is the more powerful Ags.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's just nice having another stun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the illusion's doing a lot here, but just being able to stun somebody and especially chain stun them off a VAC initiation, it makes the single target VAC a lot more viable.
My question is, it's not who gets the Ags, but like, is the Ags better than you getting an upgraded Blink? Or, you know, getting an upgraded Blink and swapping out phase boots, getting like true 6 slotted.
I think it's fine here.
Okay.
He can get Swift Blink into another item off of the boots cell.
Yep.
But I also think that's a little easier to do when we approach tier 5 neutral items. So maybe you're just kind of waiting for that overall timing as a whole. This game could go ultra late again.
Yeah, if you feel like it's going to go that way, better to give away the Ags early.
Yes.
Get the extra Greevil's Greed.
Still need an Ags on his Clinks. Waiting for that army. And we still need that refresher on the Sand King. Remember, he had the shard in the earlier fight, so he still needs to purchase it for himself. So still some big items to pick up for XG.
And it's curious. Xtreme Gaming are actually going to go for the fight, not wait for those items that they're so close to. But if they catch Liquid by surprise, they had a nice ward. Again, if another ward killed Liquid, they lost a team fight. Like, there are teams out there buying 20-minute gems.
They have a gem. They have a
okay,
gem.
okay. Boxy just didn't see it. I got you.
He's had it for a bit here.
Okay.
Dire's bottom tower.
I love that he's still holding onto the Quelling Blade, just in case, you know, he wants to chop down a tree and place one of those sneaky wards.
Nice reaction there. So
There's the
tail
refresher.
end of, this was the tail end of the Aegis period for XG.
You're right.
They're trying to get something going with it, but Liquid, they're not going to bite. And they're sitting pretty on that Necrophos net worth. Very intimidating there. He has, of course, that entire difference is in his bank, sitting on 11,000 gold right now. Nisha, what do you want to buy? You got to decide here. Can't bring that gold into a game 3 if there is no game 3.
It's true. Wind Waker. It is funny, like, the Alchemist game, right? Net worth is very skewed. Talk about the late game as well. Like, how far up do you think Liquid has to be in order for this to be an even game?
Probably about where they are now.
Okay.
I'm not going to say 20,000. That sounds a little too much, but it's probably...
If you did say it is right now 50-50, so you're right on the money.
I think 15K is like the even mark. Because the thing is, I think a lot of their net worth is not translating to damage impact as directly as XG's can.
Right.
Now, a lot of that's execution dependent. Like, for sure. You can land some Reapers and stuff. But in theory, some of the counterplays there. Like, how much does this Necro net worth count for if he just gets bursted or chain stunned? There's no save for him. There's no Wind Wakers yet. That's my big concern. Wind Wakers come out, it gets a lot more dicey for Xtreme Gaming.
Okay.
They already have a Nullifier on the Centaur, though, so they're kind of preemptively thinking about that, which I like. Will often come down to tier 5 neutral items, too. We get that Stygian on the Clinks again. That's a huge damage upgrade. Throw some more books out here. Bigger AoE. Could be pretty nasty.
What do you build? Like, super late Necro?
I think it's always the trouble is
like
not that obvious.
Is the Magic Divine ever good on this hero?
No.
It's not?
Maybe Hex, maybe Wind Waker. You can end up in these like mass Dispel builds where you have like Manta, Wind Waker, Octarine, and you're just permanently kiting in the fight.
I mean, pretty much everything is diminishing returns here on out for Nisha because he already has an Aghanim Scepter. Now he's sold his Lotus in order to complete out a Wind Waker.
He didn't sell it yet. Okay, he is planning to sell it.
Yeah, he's got it queued up.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing. How much of it? Wind Waker is a way stronger item than Lotus Orb, but you're not gaining it in a vacuum here.
Yeah, exactly. And now
something.
it's like, okay, now what? Do you swap out your Radiance for something else? Again, it's every item is a trade-off at this point in time. You're not getting, as you said, the complete effectiveness in a vacuum.
You need Wind Waker in late game. That's all I know. This item is super broken in the late game. It's very hard to counter it with Nullifier, even though we talk about it a lot.
Level 25 for the Darkseer.
What's he going to take here? Usually you take the AoE Surge.
Yeah, most people do.
Seems pretty good with this kind of lineup. You could just Moonlight in a fight, pop that AoE Surge. Helps your initiation a lot.
The Alchemist is the one who definitely has the biggest room for growth right now compared to the gold he's got. Get that upgraded Blink. Still has another item he could swap in over the Phase Boots.
Yeah, kitty.
He can cause the Clinks a lot of issues with Swift Blink Abyssal. You just get on top of Ame and start bashing him, chain stunning him. Then you have to make a call if you're boxing him or you're just trying to stampede him out. And of course, Roshan, 30 seconds here.
I find it so interesting that Boxy, like, he's a Clockwork player, but he doesn't go for the early blink that we've seen Crit do.
I think he's just trying to survive in this game.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it happened in game 1, happened in game 2. It's just kind of built up survivability. We'll go for a later blink. Currently sitting in the pit, waiting for Roshan to spawn, but that information, is that really going to do anything for you? Are you strong enough to actually do something about it?
Neither team wants to force the Roche straight up. Need the team fight here into that objective.
Oh my god, Nisha's going to get a Helm of the Overlord. All right, they had, I mean, splitting up the map more and more. I don't know if he's thinking like the Golem is particularly valuable. It is a lot of HP this late into the game, but I
think he's trying to use his gold in any way he can.
Yeah, for sure. An extra way for him to be able to utilize these slots. Mickey's going to buy out another Ags.
XG will have all their buybacks. That's a big deal here.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Mickey bought out like he did. Well, now, it's not going to take very long for him to get buyback gold. I'm just saying, this window where Roshan's up, he doesn't.
Now it will. He buys out another Ags.
Yeah, that's just
I thought he was going to save half the gold. He was only 100 off. Now he's 2,000 off.
Yeah.
Who's he? I mean, is this the Clockwork Ags, I guess? The Mirana
gave it back to the Mirana, so the refund, so he'll get Octarine. I mean, I can see it though. Tofu is almost level 25.
That is a big time.
That low cooldown Ags, triple arrow stuff, like, it's ridiculous.
It really is game winning.
You put so much threat out on the board that all of a sudden boxing people becomes a lot weirder. You might have to use an early box just because somebody hit a 4-second arrow.
It's really toxic to play against in the late game. And he's close. Arrows Roche, take that.
XXS only got a buyback, but wants to get a BKB. Says now's the time.
This game is so weird. Like, nobody wants to go in first. Because you just feel bad things are going to happen to you.
Spot XXS. Mickey actually unstable concoction. Thinking an opportunity was going to present itself. More arrow, more storm information. But Chemical Rage is going to go on cooldown pretty soon here. Got the hook shot initiation. Managed it with the vacuum on top of that. Reaper Scythe immediately put to use. The Undead is going to protect him for now, but X-Nova's not getting anything off. FY's going to get chased down as well, trying to get off the Terrorize, but the Bastion will be able to stop him. Ame putting damage on a Boxy. Glimmer keeps able to survive. Here comes that Epicenter. Mickey, a lot of damage. They'll burn him out over time a little bit more. They have to use another Epicenter. They didn't have enough. Mickey, oh, he finally goes down. Finally, it took a long time. The wheel caught Nisha in the end. No buyback here from the Alchemist because he bought that axe earlier.
FB2.
So Liquid now FB2 will kill the Darkseer as well.
But Nisha got out. He saved his BKB that entire time. Did not get bashed there. You have to remember, he can get bashed at any time.
Oh, true.
Somehow escapes. They got the Ringmaster first. That's a huge deal. They got double buyback, including that Sand King buyback out of Xtreme Gaming. But will it be their Roshan? That's the question here. No buyback on that Alchemist because he bought out for that Ags. Means you're going to be missing that big presence from Mickey. I don't think you can contest this without him. Maybe you go for a steal. You have a lot of vision. You have the Clockwork. You have Darkseer back. You have a Mirana who can leap in. Aeon Disc still available for Tofu.
You know Boxy's going to go for it if he sees the opportunity.
Yeah, they're going to go for this.
They're going to get a lot of information. Tofu actually jumping inside the pit for a quick Starstorm, then out. Jetpack still gets the Clockwork some distance in the trees. Hook shots over to the left, over to Nisha. He survives for now. XXS couldn't find his mark. Runs into Tofu, actually hit the stomp. Nothing to say, could maybe follow that up with a Roar Strike, but he declines the opportunity.
Ame was going to eat some creeps, trying to heal up here. Just gonna man up for the roast. Somebody has to pick this up, though.
Jetpack, they're gonna get information. Can they make the steal here? Boxy makes a 4-staff in. Aegis on the ground. Can he get the grab? He grabbed it! They didn't want to go for it. Nothing to say, doesn't drop anything to grab that extra life. Now a hook shot away. No, Boxy actually misses the hook shot. So ultimately, you gave up the Aegis for 2 support kills. I feel like Xtreme are perfectly fine with that.
It's one of those weird situations where, yeah, how much does the Aegis actually matter?
Yeah.
It does matter for the Clinks going high ground, but if you get kills that also let you go high ground, you can argue like maybe you're okay with that exchange, how annoying this Clockwork's been because he doesn't have buy. He is off the map for 75 seconds. This Mirana also has no buy, though that is gold base. They don't necessarily... Oh no, it is timer base. All right. No, it's gold base. Never mind. So they don't know that.
And you have, you can make an easy push. You've got both Banner and Burning Army.
Oh, yeah.
And a Centaur. So this is going to be very easy for Xtreme to poke. And unfortunately, there's this tier 2 bottom. So they could get 2 lanes off of this push if they really wanted to. Necropho's going to come back. He took the Wisdom Shrine, which got him to level 30. So the Reaper Scythe is doing a lot more damage. But doesn't matter when the Reaper Scythe aren't necessarily killing the Clinks. He's had to use them on supports most of these fights.
And that one went onto the Aeon Disc. Didn't do anything.
Vacuum to stop the initiation on Nisha. They used Nullifier for that one. Unstable Concoction a little bit late to get a big AoE stun. Hits the Centaur, but they have to back out. Wheel plus Burning Barrage damage keeps them at bay.
That's BKB for the Alk.
They made the Epicenter initiation. Got 2! Nothing to say. What a hit! Will it be enough? The Terrorize comes in. Nisha, he pops his BKB, but the Alchemist could not stay alive. The supports are almost back up now, but look at what everything that Liquid has expended. They've lost their Alchemist. They've used their BKBs. They can go for another push.
They used a lot. Still an Epicenter available. They're going to pass Lotuses to NTS. He's going to regen his mana here. Has a full other go. He just chain stunned the hell out of Mickey there.
That was super sick operating there from nothing to say.
And it's that high ground ward. They place the ops. They scout him. That ward does not get killed. Gives you the vision to go for this play. Still a glyph available for Liquid.
Another easy lane.
But yeah, they're not going to use it there. And now you have to think about Mega's Alk. Still no buyback available.
I mean, they could backdoor the tier 2. I'm pretty sure the Clinks has the damage.
Yes, they could. If they recognize it, which they should. But the question here is if you're Xtreme Gaming, are you assuming Mickey doesn't have buyback? There's kind of no way you assume it here. He's an Alchemist at 60 minutes. He has to have the gold, right?
Of course. But most of that gold is on Nisha. He actually had like 12,000 gold. Wind Waker dodging the stomp. Nullifier placed on the Clockwork, so he's likely to die here from the Bloodthorn. Vacuum counter initiation doesn't do much here. Again, it's only really catching the Centaur. Ame is managing to keep his distance. A Harpoon, even if they do get him, helps him reset his positioning.
As scary as these Vacs look, they're not doing anything.
No, they're not.
You have too many resets with Stampede plus double box.
It's really just like a momentary stun that stops the follow-up.
If you catch the Clinks, that's kind of the ideal. Like, you can suck him into the wall, probably forces him to pop BKB, and then maybe Al can just jump him, trade BKB, stun bash him.
Think so? I mean, Ame is not so threatened by his... I think he just harpooned.
No, to me, well...
Or Hurricane Pikes, right?
Yeah, if he gets out of it. But at least then you're forcing some items out of him.
Sure.
I mean, what else is this wall really doing in this game?
Not a whole lot. It's just a big
Oh, look at the smoke through the base.
Ooh, if they catch Mickey again, oh my god, he's slipping right past them and made the jump onto the Necrophos instead. Nisha's chain stunned up for now, but the BKB is going to go off now. The Wind Waker, this is a little bit of trouble for Xtreme Gaming. Can they get a Reaper scythe kill somewhere in here? Box 1 gets used. X-Nova trying to chase away. Nothing to say.
Wait,
I think he blinked into an arrow. Oh, what an arrow from Tofu catches him as he makes the jump in, and now he's going to be the one to get a Reaper scythe. X-Nova got chased away. They have to Stampede, full retreat now, and Liquid, they need picks. They need more than just one hero. They need multiple. They're going to get FY off of this. Just one extra kill is not the worst. It is a gem laid down, but the fact is, they should know that the Sand King doesn't have buyback. An opportunity for Liquid. Opportunity and danger on the same, or two different sides of the same coin, though. If they go for that high ground push, they might just end the game on themselves if they lose it.
Power Mirana, you land those arrows, it changes the whole game. That was a devastating arrow for that Sand King to blink into, and now you have the multi-shot. That was before the triple arrow.
Right.
Now it's online. I believe Nisha slotted in Lincolns for this play, and then Nullifier hit the Lincolns.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
And so he's ghost shrouded here, and you can't hit him. It was a surprise Lincoln slot onto the boots.
That's a crazy
Really
heads-up play.
Yeah,
that's
that's
an arrow. He
insane.
blinked right into it.
Insanely clutch from the Liquid mid laner here. Look at the regen on this outfit.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just stupid. It's just a battle of regen against overwhelming DPS from this Sand King. Man, that Lincoln's just completely caught Xtreme Gaming off guard.
What happened in that one? Xtreme Gaming have been winning so many fights. But a slip up. And now.
That play could have completely caught Liquid off guard, though. They were not expecting that smoke through the top lane.
Yeah,
it was a good idea.
Initially, it did look like they weren't going to get anything for it. Right? Like, even as Necro survived.
Sure.
Everybody was getting out, and then Sand King blinked into that arrow, presenting the opportunity for Liquid. Now Liquid's going to get a fresh round of items. They're going to change up their item builds a little bit. We're seeing, Nisha is swapping in item after item. Again, diminishing returns on all this because he keeps selling some item to buy some other item. He's back up to 12,000 net worth on himself that is not being used. So 18,000 net worth lead is basically nothing because there's just so many heroes holding gold.
You get tier 5 neutrals, though. Triple Minotaur Horn.
And Divine Regalia is the choice for Tofu. Tofu said, I'm going to have to carry this game.
He should be able to keep it, right? Pretty rare he dies unless the game just implodes. Triple Minotaur Horn to deal with the Sand King damage, I kind of like. They did get the Stygian on Ame. He took lifesteal for it. Pretty interesting.
I can dig it.
My big question will be, is there an upgrade here for NTS? This Conjurer's Catalyst is pretty nasty. He could roll a set of items that aren't really that much better.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Right, if it's... do you think he should get the Stygian Desolator as well, if it's presented?
Yes.
And then should he get Divine
that is
Regalia?
a damage upgrade. You got Dazoon. That's also interesting on this hero.
Yeah. I feel like there's 3 items that are an upgrade.
You got a pretty bad roll. I think it's either keep the Catalyst or take Dazoon here. That's a lot of health chunk on this item now, 35%.
Yeah,
casting a lot of spells. You have Arcane Blink. I mean,
I feel like that AoE is still very effective because the way Liquid wants to play fights, right?
Yeah,
they want to stay so split, but that AoE increase is so massive.
He'll
he
take
commits
it
to it.
It's the right. You can't refuse Dazoon on this hero. It's built for this hero. There's the last Expo, I assume. Yeah, 4th. Going into that Clockwork.
All right, have we gone over? We got level 30 on the Clinks. I'm making sure we haven't missed anything, any big talent pickups.
Don't think so.
Or item changes.
Everybody's pretty much there. X-Nova did take the Escape Act 25 talent, so that is now a strong Dispel and Flying, which is important in this game for the arrows. That actually does change boxing someone on an arrow.
And Tofu plays so aggressive off this. With his Aeon Disc, assuming he's always going to be able to get back out. They are not letting XXS take this outpost. And at some point, Liquid may jump in, not necessarily on the Centaur.
You don't want to jump that guy. You need to find supports or the Clinks.
If Boxy, with his Aghanim Scepter, gives vision of the full area, right, he could spot the Ringmaster. They can make the go on him.
Ringmaster is public enemy #1.
Yeah, escape act, strong dispel.
You have to take it out.
Just too powerful. But how do you get to him with a 4-staff Glimmer Cape, Blink Dagger, Eon Disc, and him sitting way in the back?
It's really difficult. You need surprise angles or some like distraction on the front line while you take the wrap around.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you just kind of casually go past the Centaur. You know, like you're sitting on one side, you hook shot past him or something like that. The whole team has to get it up and around.
You could go on the Centaur and try and vacuum the fight behind him to catch the Ringmaster. Like use going on the Centaur as a bait to draw this backline in from Xtreme Gaming. Sometimes that's a tactic that can give you some freedom in the fight. The thing is you have to worry about the lanes. You lost 2 lanes at Barracks. These are constantly pushing in. Someone has to go back. There's map advantage for XG right now. And all buybacks are available in this game except the Ringmaster, oddly enough.
Hey, we talked about like Necro can just bots too back into the fight. But if the fight has already been initiated,
it could be rough.
Yeah, it's very likely Xtreme win it. Oh, arrow, it lands. And that kind of spoils the smoke play here.
These are so annoying.
Oh, he jumps. Oh, God, Nullifier and stuff. Like, that is the one hero that could actually stop you if he hits the stomp and Nullifier.
Is that an opening here for Liquid?
Yeah, spotted the Sand King, got the hook shot on him, plus the vacuum. Everything they can. The Cogs didn't actually keep him inside there. He burrow strikes away to the side. The Abyssal Blade him up. Stampede making a run for it. Necrophos just pushing into these heroes. Here comes the arrow.
Centaurs.
They're going to hit the Centaur.
Getting slain.
X-Nova's coming in. He's going to try and save him with the Nullifier's placed on him. It looks like he got a BKB first. X-Nova surrounded by heroes. They're really grouped up. The Reaper Scythe is going to be put to use. It Lotus right back on Anisha. And XXS, he's still alive. Hit the stomp. Ame's in trouble, though. Ace caught him inside the vacuum. Ace, Ame's healing up. He's good for now. A bash lands on Ace, and that's going to be the death of him. The Rigo from Mickey. Without a Chemical Rage, not so easy, but look at the damage there for the Starstorm, plus Nisha coming in. Huge heaps of magic damage. Bring down Ame.
They got the Sand King out. That's the only saving grace there for Xtreme Gaming. Otherwise, the buyback from the Necrophos does its job here on the side of Liquid. Exchange for the Centaur buyback as well. Didn't honestly cost Liquid too much to power through this fight. They bring down the Necrophos. It just takes so much time. And that was with the Reaper not finishing this Centaur off. Had enough magic resistance. He popped BKB or Minotaur Horn at the end. And X-Nova, he almost whoopee cushioned over that clip. Might have made a difference in that fight. He's able to skirt out at the top, but then he gets hit by an arrow. These arrows are just insanely annoying. Yeah,
the Starstorm, like how much damage did Clean take from these Starstorms? It's insane. Tofu backs out, then he's going to come back in with another round.
Late game Miranas, it's something else with this talent. Like, it really is. It's incredibly difficult to play against. Maybe this hero's a liability in other stages of the game, but right now he is proving his worth in spades.
Now Liquid's going to take another Roshan. It's a 69-minute Roshan, though. So again, the question is, how much do these items actually do for you? The banner is very powerful. A refresher on one of these heroes could help. In fact, you need the refresher for Mickey.
Aegis for Nisha's nice because he does not have buyback right now. This is a great Aegis carrier. How tanky he is, how difficult he is to bring down.
But at the same time, if that puts you into the enemy base, where I feel like Xtreme Gaming, like this formation setup, we talked about it for game 1, and I think it's the same for game 2. You going into the enemy base here is very tough for Liquid.
It's really tough. There's only one epicenter available right now. That helps. But actually, you're going to get everybody up. And you got to keep the buybacks in mind. They didn't expend a lot of buybacks to try and salvage that situation. Just cut their losses.
Just the one on the Sand King, which means...
the Centaur, yes.
Oh, yeah, Centaur, sorry. Which means, like, maybe it is worth going for that kill. It kind of worked out for them in that last fight anyway. In a way, it pulled X-Nova forward. I almost wonder if X-Nova just shouldn't... Is it crazy to say he shouldn't try and save Centaur?
If the Centaur has buyback, I think that argument's a lot more valid.
Yes, for sure. Because he put himself really forward.
Yeah,
I mean, he was throwing
awkward.
wheel whip in the fight. He wasn't playing necessarily a whole lot of box action there.
There is some comms in these types of situations of like, okay, I'm going to sit on the front line. I have buyback. If they go on me, don't overcommit with the Ringmaster. Maintain your position. We'll play the second half. It could be something to consider here on the side of X-Nova because you are that important. You know, getting 4 boxes off in a fight is not unrealistic at all when these fights go so long, and it's a big difference compared to 2. There is a courier slain for Ame.
Yeah, he was trying to get Divine Rapiers.
Interesting.
Which he bought double Demon Edge. 1 for MKB, 1 for Divine. Which is pretty insane. Banner's going to get dropped here. So here comes the siege from Liquid. Big AoE. Deathpack can clear out the siege wagons, though, so
That's pretty nice.
that is very efficient. The Sand King, he can still get Abyssal Blade, which, you know, adding in one more guaranteed stun.
He can also get Divine Rapier.
He can also get Divine Rapier, and he can also get Nullifier, which they do have a slight Nullifier problem. Like, having it on the Centaur, it's not easy for you to get that Nullifier on at the right time. Much easier for Sand King, Burrow, Nullifier, right? 1-2.
It's easier said than done, though. Like, it's always, you don't just nullify this guy. He's leaping around. He's already wind waker. It gets really weird really quickly.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind it here. We haven't talked about it, but the Alp pulled all those Ags, so now he has like the insane Greevil's Greet, and he's completely 6-slotted now. He has Daedalus, Swift Blink, Abyssal, Nullifier. If he gets on top of Alma, he's going to shred.
We also have level 25 on Boxy. The team fights are kind of crazy with that. You have full vision of all heroes all the time. Back on 2 with the Unstable Concoction. Got the Antidote FY. He's already force-staffed himself away. A quick go, but no retreat. Ace got caught in the wheel. So he's going to have to BKB to get out of here. A lot more expended from Liquid than it was Xtreme. Those BKBs are very important.
Bottom tower.
Still poking at these tier 3. I mean, just keep throwing the arrows. Maybe eventually an opportunity presents itself.
It's just so hard to go high ground in these games.
Wow. And
There's just not a clear way to do it. You don't want to sit somebody up there. Especially with Necrophos Aegis, he's not taking the building, so it's kind of pointless to even test that.
I think Nisha is now going back on like, okay, now survivability isn't the problem. Maybe it's damage. Like maybe I just need to do more damage over time.
Like
Overwhelming Blink Heart.
The way you do damage is you survive.
Right. It isn't enough this super late game, right?
It has to be. There's nothing else to pull out.
Well, he keeps swapping out items thinking there's going to be some magical build that will guarantee the win.
You got to get moon shards.
Yeah, we still have moon shards to
got to start pulling those moon shards.
Not that moon shards are terribly effective on their heroes. Really, Liquid don't do a whole lot of right-clicking at all, except for the Alk, who is going to buy himself one very soon.
Did anybody bobble in this game? We have only the one on FY. Took Feverish. Currently at 50% cooldown. Or 50% bonus on the cooldown reduction.
He took the Bedlam attack target. So, dude, I feel like everybody goes Terrorize impact damage.
Yeah.
When is he getting good Bedlam?
I don't know. Maybe he has other plans. He's going to blink in there and Bedlam someone to death.
Yeah, I mean, he went the Bedlam. Maybe it was the commitment at the 15. He was like, well, I went the Bedlam damage. Now I have to get the attack targets.
You could technically scale Bobble infinitely here.
Yeah, Perma Bedlam?
At some point, well, you could take the damage amp too.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Bedlam will do 1,000 attack damage per second on multiple targets. That sounds pretty hype.
Could be. I mean, it really does seem like this game is in a stalemate.
I mean, XG like the late game.
They're both playing a stalemate where they're both sitting on their side their base. Both teams are AFK in their base right now. Both expecting that the enemy team is going to try and make a move. Like Liquid finally gave up their siege and are probably saying, okay, Xtreme are going to go for a smoke out now.
It's just both teams sitting in the corner of the ring. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Come fight me. No, you come fight me.
Both Liquid and Xtreme Gaming are counter punches, and now no punches are being thrown.
Yeah, you have to wonder what the comms are like right now. Don't worry. Let's bait them in, guys.
Both sitting at 2 lanes of barracks. Sorry, no. Liquid never took that bottom lane of barracks.
The thing is, all the buybacks are available. I think both teams were waiting for that one core that was on cooldown. They're going to come up the exact same time. There's no advantage to be gained here, really.
Yeah, Liquid had the better map state momentum, but their buyback is more crucial, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
So they give up that position.
Still Rax advantage for XG. If they want to just kind of play the map game, look for some power runes, look for next Roshan if they feel like someone can use Aegis well. You start giving it to supports or something if you really want to. Hey, give it to the Ringmaster. X-Nova needs an Aegis in this game.
He might.
I'm not even kidding. I think it's potentially pretty good here.
It does sound pretty sick. But when Xtreme push outside of their base, fights are so much harder because of this clockwork.
Oh, he's a
With
menace.
the Ags rocket flare, he's spamming the entire map. He's getting vision of you all the time.
And
there's no way for X-Nova to just be able to be out of sight.
Twin hoof stomp.
Nice, but Xtreme not really following that up. Still, if they get the BKB out of Mickey, that might be good enough. The Abyssal Blade Lotus Orb himself. What a vacuum, though! A 5-man vacuum is second going to be enough. A second wall gets used, but again, these illusions don't really do too much.
Nobody died.
And the epicenter, from nothing to say, kept Liquid away. Still, though, he's not going anywhere. He's arrowed up. He's arrowed for arrow. Now the hook shot landed on the central. Left side, they're going for X-Nova, and they got him inside the Reaper's sight. He's going to fall. Now Nisha pushing forward. Slowing down these heroes. Ame trying to turn back around. Got the nullifier onto Nisha. Pops BKB. Surge. He pulls him back in with a vacuum on XXS. Tofu still hunting for this kill into FY, another Glimmer Cape, he dies.
You have to regroup.
Expended from Xtreme, trying to get back to their base. Ace not letting Ame get back easy. Tofu goes in as well, unable to get the Ghoul Scepter. Lincoln blocks that one, the arrow's gonna whiff.
Double buyback, expended from XG. Liquid still everything available. Waiting for the Reaper only, pretty much. But the Darkseer spells are gonna come up, the Mirana spells are gonna come up. Roche could spawn in the next minute and a half. What a sick vacuum.
Nasty stuff from
that vacuum was so good, even though you had no follow-up, XG are just like, we need to get the hell out. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Panic.
Get me out of this fight. Stampede me to victory. And honestly, the MVPs of this game so far are the arrows.
Yes.
They don't have answers for this multi-shot arrow going through the fight. At some point, somebody gets arrowed, and then it's like, all right, that guy is going to die. And there's almost nothing you can do about it unless a box save comes through, which you're not going to be able to position for that every time.
Right. He's either getting pinged by rocket flares so he can't blink in, or he blinks in and they have full vision and full clearance to get him instead.
Just a nasty combination here. Boxy with the cheese stays alive. NTS is like, get me out of here. Tanks an arrow to the knee, and that'll end his Saiyan career in this fight.
No longer an adventurer. He'll stay inside the base to guard home.
He's going to have nightmares of arrows after this game. He really has been ruined. Just so much HP to get through.
I mean, the poke game with Mirana late game is just...
Yeah, it's something else.
You're playing a mini game of sorts where you're just... It's some sort of weird bullet hell where you're just always trying to micro your unit's positioning not to get hit by the thing that kills you.
It's the super low cooldown on the Tri-Arrow and the super low cooldown on Moonlight Shadow that makes this hero just such a menace.
I mean, FY is building for the Enchanter's Bauble. Because we saw when this happened with Tai Lung, the problem was not the cooldown, it was getting as many Mad Stones as he could.
It's tough to farm them up, yeah.
Which is where Hand of Midas helps you.
I don't know, get an Ags? Does it even do anything? Like, what even does anything to change the fight? More Wind Wakers, more Hexes? I guess you can get to a point where your spells have 0 cooldown, and you can just Gatling gun brambles on someone.
Chain terrorize people?
I don't know.
You get one terrorize, you blink after, then terrorize again.
The future is an interesting place.
It could be. But the present Liquid are going to claim another Roshan again. We've just gone ad nauseum about how these items aren't necessarily the most game-changing.
It's just dropping Helm of the Overlord on the ground so you can pick stuff up.
Yeah.
Oh, is Mickey going to take his helm? Okay. Was that his helm? I don't even know whose helm that is.
Here comes the rocket flares, getting information.
Oh, no, Nisha wants his helm back. Okay, but he still has the golem creep here.
Yeah, big golem.
That's
19 HP, 19% HP bonus. That.
Hell yeah.
Pretty significant.
They have all Aghanim Scepter upgrades, all Shard upgrades, everything eaten. Moon Shard on the Alchemist.
All right, if Ace hits the right kind of vacuum, Mickey could make the coolest play. Fallen Sky Unstable Concoction combo.
Oh yeah, that sounds juicy right here.
And here we are. All this power and a 500 HP tower just being whittled away. 43 damage a hit from range creeps. You think there should be some sort of like ultra item coming out of Roshan? Roshan like number 7 or 8 gives you... I don't even know what. Ooh.
I don't want to reward that.
I don't know if you want to go in any deeper than you already are, Nisha. They make their jump vacuum. Oh, he got the clinks! And Bex Nova couldn't get off the box in time.
So fast.
He died instantly. Okay.
That was convincing. That was very convincing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You just got rocket flared? I don't even know what that is. I feel like that's a bug death summary or something. Well, that's 2 buybacks down. Only 1 available for Xtreme Gaming here. as Liquid are grinding out the win. Oh, they see the Klink's Courier with the Divine on it, disassembled, but you could still stop it getting there. Yeah. If you have enough leaps.
Tofu's on the ride. He's going to find it. Klinks does manage to get off. Good micro there. Got off the shield. Now it's off the map.
I don't think you can do anything about this.
There's a little area next to the base where it comes off of that high ground area. Look at it. They're trying to find it with the rocket flares and a ranged hit.
So this is a mini game right here.
Oh my God, it's spotted.
You can't kill it. Once it's on the side of the map, it's impossible. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, maybe like Sniper or something. Yeah, it goes over the abyss.
Oh, it does. Okay, well, Divine Rapier done. It doesn't really change anything if Ame gets caught in another insane vacuum unstable concoction. Xnova has played this game extremely well. I think that was the only time where you could really say, like, oh no. Because I think he boxed the Centaur who was nullified and he didn't get a box off on Ame at all.
Don't think he got anything. I think it was just too fast.
And the damage was
They're going to take a smoke fight with no buys available effectively.
Trying to get some sort of positioning. The Necrophos, he pops right into the base. Arrow, Shivas, getting a lot of information, but they may not know. Nothing to say. He's looking for this epicenter initiation. Terrorize went out. Nothing to follow it.
How do you kill anybody in this game anymore as XG? I just don't see it.
There's that jump with the nullifier, a little pick off. Now the epicenter initiation though. Hit Ace with the nullifier, but he still got off the BKB and he makes a run for it. The refresh, he burrow struck out of there. Mickey's almost dead. The Wind Waker saves him. Ame's trying to set up though with the burning barrage. They didn't get him. I thought the burning barrage would get the kill surely, but it doesn't. And now
so many skellies.
He's healing up. He's got the block of cheese. The shield is back up. The Chemical Rage in 13 seconds. And all the meanwhile, Nisha is on the front lines, hitting the barracks, 50 damage a shot.
You got to do something here if you're Xtreme Gaming. Last epicenter.
Got a nullifier onto Nisha. He doesn't really care and waits it out. Managed to get that vacuum. Go for the Centaur field. Here comes that second epicenter.
It has to be enough.
This Darkseer once again, and this time it'll do it. No escape from the epicenter this time around. Necrophos does manage to get the blank away. Xnova couldn't quite get it. Meanwhile, the arrow comes through the Starstorm. That's a dieback. And without that team fight, Xtreme Gaming are going to have to do it off their single target damage, and it almost does. The Wind Waker cannot save Nisha here. Does have a buyback though.
Will he commit it? Or Liquid just going to back off?
Is Megas worth it to buy back here? Are you willing to push the throne?
The Marana right clicks.
Arrow trying to vacuum him back into one of these arrows. Unstable concoction got the nullifier on him. There goes the box though. Force staffed in. Xnova got pushed in somehow. Who did that?
He went in.
Who was that?
No, I think he just went in.
Xnova, you insane madman. He almost kills himself by doing that. There's no way he intended that, right? Missile blade on the Centaur. The Centaur is no longer the tanky hero that he once was. He managed to get the vacuum back onto Xnova. Xnova making a run for it. He doesn't have box charges anymore. That's going to be Megas.
They have to find kills here.
Do they push it forward? A buyback used on Nothing to Say. 2 minutes on the Centaur. A 4 versus 5. Xtreme Gaming. Can they make the hold? That is a 4 versus 4 now. And arrow lands on Ame. Liquid. Do not jump back in for it. Maybe they still will. Mickey, he thinks it's an opportunity. Unstable Concoction got the BKB out of Klinks. BKB on cooldown for 90 seconds. That is still a window to be utilized, maybe.
Just trying to take buildings here. The team is retreating.
The tier 4s are gone. The throne is now exposed with no glyph on Xtreme. They don't have the best building hitters.
Is Liquid going to wait for the Darkseer to be up here? Still block of cheese running. If you get BKBs, can you all in throne? It might be close. There is that Abyssal and the Chain Stun from the Sand King.
He's just trying to build a new item, man. He's trying to get a 10th item. Maybe the double hearts can combine or something. He's I don't know what this is.
Such a point as too much gold? I feel like we are at that point if it exists. I will say we joked about the Bedlam attack targets, but it's honestly pretty nice for clearing out the Necrobook units.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you foresaw this scenario, but my God, he knows about defending the throne.
It's another round of Madstones to be gotten too.
Look at how farm this Marana is, dude. Hell yeah. This is the bottom of every pot of players' dreams. Level 30, Divine Regalia.
Yeah, Moonlight Shadow is almost up every single fight.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
When was the last time he even died in this game? I can't even remember.
It's been a minute. It's been a while.
I think if XG could start the fight with anybody dead in this game, it might be the Potter. Just take the arrows out of the fight, and we'll deal with the rest. But it's impossible. You'll never find Tofu in this game.
No, there's no reason to ever be in danger when the arrows are, in a way, your win condition. They set it up so much. That and the vacuum unstable concoction. Those are the two ways that Liquid...
You can also back them into the arrow. It's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, that is what's...
really annoying. And then you're forcing the Ringmaster to sacrifice his positioning. Liquid do have buyback advantage right now. They also have a 66k gold advantage. I don't know how much that counts for this late into the game, but it is there.
Yeah, Dota Plus still says it's a 93-7 game. Heavily favoring Liquid, I guess, off of the Mega Creeps.
For sure.
But
they are pretty advantaged here.
hey, you do see that Xtreme Gaming don't have the best heroes declared out, as you said. It's like Bedlam is actually helping them quite a bit, but between the creeps always pushing in and the rocket flares always hitting them, there is no move for Xtreme to make.
Nope.
They can't ever catch you unawares. I think that's where that smoke up to the top part of the map earlier came from, because there was just like...
Oh, you got
It was desperately trying to find some way to get an opening.
They need some crazy creative angle to ever do that, and I think they're just going to resolve themselves to defending the throne. Their glyph is coming up in another minute here. They will have the Clinks buy and the Centaur buy. Liquid are losing a bit of this window. However, if they never want to try and all in it without Necrophos buyback, then it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's like you could win the game right now, but...
A Divine Rapier
throw the
Marana.
game.
A Magic Rapier.
Yeah, I mean, buy all of those. Hold your Octarine, your Aeon Disc, and then buy 4 Divine Rapiers.
So this is a 700 damage Starstorm hit that gets, you know, you're potentially getting hit by 4 or whatever nonsense.
I mean, the wage instantly dies every single time.
This is pretty beastly right here.
And okay, how far out? Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought every banner, maybe they should do this. Every banner expands, but it caps out at 1,200. So they'll have yet another banner to put into Xtreme Gaming's base to start the assault.
Very good. Very good here. They're also just deciding what neutral creeps they want with these DOMs. I don't know if there's anything that breaks this game. Time Warp War is good. Ace currently has a Harpy Stormcrafter, which still has the night vision, as far as I'm aware.
Xtreme Gaming, reminder of what was set up here. This is the survival phase. Whoever loses this series is out of EWC. The winner has the pleasure of going up against Team Spirit to try and make it to playoffs. Xtreme Gaming, if they make the comeback, will get the 2-0. And what a comeback it would be. From Knoxville, he says, if Xtreme Gaming managed to win this, this will be at least the second biggest net worth comeback of all time. And you know who made the biggest comeback of all time, Avery? Team Liquid.
Damn, when was that?
Team Liquid against ITB at the TI-10 Western European qualifiers. Into the breach.
Well, they're always involved in these games. That seems their fate.
Indeed, indeed.
Double Divine for Ame. That is worth mentioning here. He will have his buyback available, but if he goes down, that's just such a big damage loss. Another block of cheese is available for Liquid. They still have Aegis for 4 minutes here, and they put a Harpy Stormcrafter on the cliff bottom as a permanent ward. So, he's just surveying the domain.
I like it, I like it. As if they didn't already know Xtreme's every
what does that vision
move.
even do?
Like, do you even need any extra vision mechanics? But Liquid is...
In case the 9 rocket flares and the 50-second Marana ult didn't scout them, that Stormcrafter might do the job.
I mean, this is the kind of shit you have to do when you have a lineup that simply does not scale with Divine Rapiers.
Okay, they're sending Tofu in.
Here comes the arrows. XXS does manage to dodge it. Banner is out there holding the creeps. Here comes the Yule set up onto that arrow. Didn't throw out the arrow, threw out the Unstable Concoction. BKB commitment. There's the box. It's it up. Meanwhile, the epicenter initiation was beautiful.
They got the Marana.
Yeah, that's right, the Marana.
That's
Tofu
huge.
Flew too close to the sun.
Oh, no.
Lost his life and the Divine Rapier, which nobody has the slots to pick it up. Finally, XXS says, okay, I got it.
Does he even want that? What does that even do for him?
No, I think it's purely just to take it away.
Yeah, but you could have given it to somebody.
I don't think anybody...
Nobody wants it, I guess.
Nobody wants to be in the position to pick that up, right? The risk is too high to go there to grab it. And nothing to say. I mean, he's had so many sick initiations throughout this game.
And gets that nullifier connection on the Marana, too.
Yeah.
I think you would take Divine on Sand King, but he needs nullifier too badly in this game. Having extra damage doesn't do anything if you can't connect it here.
A 92-minute game on our hands. The network getting clawed back a little bit. We still have some heroes without level 30. FY is being spotted by the Rocket Flares. He's both trying to get his level 30 and his Mad Stones.
He's farming up that bauble.
Get those Mad Stones.
I mean, these spells are getting pretty low cooldown, I'm not gonna lie. It's
30-second terrorize, 30-second cooldown terrorize.
I'm looking at 8-second Bramble.
Next round, will he have permanent Shadow Realm? He's at 6.5 duration for a 7.7 second
I think
cooldown.
he will have it next. Yeah.
So
it's going to be like a 0.1 difference or something.
You have to hit him with an AoE stun if he's your target.
Yeah, you do have arrow.
Which they do have plenty of those, no doubt. But then you hit him, but he has Aeon Disc, and you can't nullify him while he's in the Shadow Realm. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, man. Sure.
Do you know anything that's going on?
You keep theory crafting how to kill a Dark Willow that has any relevance on this late game. Like, has FY done anything in the last 30 minutes? Not to fault him. Like, his hero's spells are not that relevant here.
Okay, well, you say that now, but in another 30 minutes, okay, Dark Willow will be the problem.
All right, they're scouting. They're sending the arrows in. Ame is just getting chunked.
Yeah, look at all the damage he's taking. Just trying to do the physical. He's almost setting up the box. He's trying to get back down. He's dead. That's going to be a buyback. He was in the Divine Rapier's on the deck.
He's got to get to him. He's got to pick him up.
He's got to pick him back up. The glyph hasn't been used yet. Oh, but look at all the damage. They have to use the glyph now. Here comes the epicenter initiation. Managed to get on the Alchemist. Alchemist's almost dead. Another Pistol Blade. Where's the rest of his team, man? It's just nothing to say. Did all the damage. While Necrophos got caught in Xtreme Gaming's trap. Managed to stop the extra epicenter. BKB's going to get used. And here comes the Alchemist. Here it comes. Fallen Sky.
He got stunned.
It's the throne. It's the Smashers. More damage. They got it. Liquid. 93-minute victory. Old-fashioned early to 20 to 30-minute brawl. Because that's what it looks like to me.
There's a lot of brawling in this game. Could be another sloppy one. I think the series, if you ask both teams, have we played clean Dota, they'd probably say no. It's been a messy series overall.
And it's going to start real messy with Mickey's blood all over the ground. He is going to give up.
Who do you give it to?
First one, and that is to Ame.
There's an argument you give it to Centaur there for like faster helm. Because then you can accelerate the game.
And
but if Ame wants it, he's going to take it. You can't refuse him.
Nothing to say wasn't there for the kill, which obviously mid laners usually won, and yet he still found something. He found Boxy's Courier, which I didn't see.
An early sacrifice to the blood gods.
I guess so. There was already enough blood on the deck, but apparently they needed just a little bit more.
Boxy's Courier has a rough life. Being thrown to the wolves. This could be a very bloody game. This is a lineup from Liquid that we saw them play.
Ooh, Tofu with the Quelling Blade. Not to be caught unawares.
We saw them play this exact type of lineup the other day with the tiny Earth Spirit Marana Ember combination. It was a different off-laner for Ace, but functions is going to be the exact same here. That is a huge amount of chain stun, huge amount of pick-off potential, big threat across the map very quickly with the mobility here. Could be difficult to shove the waves out. That was the biggest issue in the game. You just couldn't get the lanes in as Ame's going to take an arrow to the knee, but he will still get through the gate here. So that's the concern for XG. Like, how do you play the map? How do you not feed bad kills and then just have that momentum build really quickly? Lanes don't really matter for this kind of draft for Liquid. They just need levels. They just need to get to the part of the game where they can start rolling on people. Tiny can enter the game. If you get Blink Dagger on Tiny, you get Shadow Blade on Tiny, you get a Vessel on Ember, you're just running at people. This game can snowball really quickly. So if you're XG, you need to get as much out of the slaying phase as you can, slow this lineup down as much as possible, and get the lanes in safely. I think it's a game you definitely want Helmet Dominator on Centaur just for the lane pressure, so you don't have to show. And you want to get really fat on this Drow so you can start to have a presence in this game outside of just being a meat body to get rolled on. Because there's a lot of heroes that just roll in from this Liquid squad.
Yeah, you say lanes won't matter as much for Liquid, and it's a good thing too, because aren't they set up to lose all 3 lanes potentially? Not by
Very
like
likely.
a massive amount, but I feel like every single one has an edge for Xtreme.
For sure, it's a pull lane top with the double melee against the Drow. The Shaker's going to win mid against the Ember. NTS had a nice time in that in game 1. And the Centaur should do completely fine down here against the Mirana support. So I do expect XG to have a better time here in the first 10 minutes. But again, I don't think this Liquid draft really cares too much. They just want to get levels. If anything, I think they'd be happy trading some net worth to win the Wisdom Shrine exchange. Just pump these heroes up. They can play through Ember. This draft will look great. And we saw what the Nisha Ember can do.
This is annoying, man. Quelling Blade plus Tree Throw for Mickey. A Quelling Blade on the Mirana. Like, they're just going to cover each other. Unless you get both in a Bushwhack, the Bushwhack's never going to last for long.
Start with Centaur stun, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's another option. I like seeing the Shaker come back. I think NTS performed on it pretty well in that game 1, and it was a solid answer to the Ember. He had a good time with it. And they didn't end up winning that game, so I guess you could say, you know, why fix what's not broken here?
I would say Nisha had, it was rough for him in that Ember Spirit game. He started off in a position where he's losing lane against the Earthshaker, and I think he did what he could on the hero, but ultimately wasn't able to accomplish much of what he wanted to, which is assassinating those supports.
He eventually got there. It's just
easier time in
delayed.
this game.
Maybe. Largo's a weird hero for this Ember to play into. So if you get at least a 1 item and you're a little tanky, it's a very hard support to assassinate with the constant dispels and how tanky you can be. I do like the Largo into the Ember matchup. The Hoodwink you should be able to catch. As nimble as Hoodwink is, Ember is one of those heroes that can just slice him down. You have infinite chase. And having a pretty good time here in the second half of this early lane phase. Winning the regen trade, at least, even if NTS is winning the CS battle.
Yeah, I wonder what changed, because we saw it in the first half of the laning phase. He was doing a lot of harassment to nothing to say, and you know, did what he could, and then the bottle comes in and everything changed. Now Nisha is keeping up the pressure post-bottle.
NTS committed a decent amount of the echo hits into some extra denies, which is why his CS is looking hot, but that does mean Nisha got some favorable trades out of it. If he gets the 4-minute water rune, he'll be safe here. Nisha might call for this to get denied. You could rotate a support over and try and take this away from NTS. It would be a big victory. Or you can glyph and dive him here. I don't know if you can snag this kill, though. You just don't have the resources for it.
Well, another wave is coming in. Here comes the Hoodwink, though. Trying to secure that water rune. Nisha might still be able to take it. He doesn't want to take that 1v2. Might slight steal it. Ooh. Steals it away from nothing to say.
That's huge.
And he's going to get the one on the other side, too.
Yeah, Dota. You got to go to base now if you're NTS, so
yeah.
He'll miss maybe a half to most of that wave. Big setback, especially since you pulled FY. It's like, feels bad.
You got the experience lead off of all these denies, but now it's going to go back to even, right?
Should. 3-level experience lead for XG, but I mean, it's lane phase, so what does that really mean? Continuing to pull waves top. They've done a decent time dodging Ame up here, who did have that first blood gold. Very fast treads for him. And he is quite scary against these melee heroes. If you end up in a chase down situation, you're just dead. So you need to be careful that you don't waste the Timber Chain, waste the roll in a bad situation, feed an extra kill up here. And look towards that 6-minute power rune. It's going to be a big one for these two mid laners.
And same goes for the Wisdom Shrine soon after, right? Ember Spirit is very good at playing on the enemy side, so it's something Extreme Gamer going to have to play around here.
Now there's that chase
down. Finally, Boxy will be punished for all this lane pulling. You knew it was going to happen eventually.
I felt someone was going to die up here at some point. Like, you have an early boots on the Larg, you have the early treads on the Drow, too much early gold injection, and just too easy to run these heroes down. You're not worried about any sort of threat turning that play around. Strong start for the lanes here for Extreme Gaming. Not as good on this mid as the game 1. I think that's something Liquid can look to play around a little bit more, because they got bodied in that mid lane.
Avalanche into roll into arrow. Nice chain stun combination. So you kill Boxy. Well, guess what? That's an opportunity for Boxy to rotate to another lane. Gets the kill on bottom, and now him and Tofu can make the move to the power runes in 20 seconds. There's that catchy lick counterplay.
Surprised they had enough damage for that. Tiny getting the job done here. Some extra nuke power. FY getting stacks up, looking for contests. They're going to contest top as well. Everybody wants this rune, and you're not going to take it a second time, NTS. Knew what was
Pull back in
coming.
Nisha, who's still level 6. Fisher's going to block him out. He activates the Flame Guard now. He's got a Fairy Fire, but man, he's just been body blocked so heavily, the physical damage might be the end of him. Another Enchant Totem, trying to dodge away from that one, get hit by the stun, and there's the finishing blow. On the other side, the two supports did play up against FY in a 1v2, so they got that support kill, but obviously much better for Xtreme Gaming.
Oh yeah, especially since it was a regen. You just come back to full here. At least you got the Remnant out, I guess. You can just Remnant back in.
Yeah.
Saves Nisha some time, but not what he was looking for on that exchange. And FY did get the stacks up on the triangle. So you could have this nice epicenter, or not an Echo Slam. Still thinking about Sanking here.
Yeah.
Oh, or you can use it to steal some stacks potentially.
Yeah, and Nisha now has to clean up this mid wave, which means a free opportunity for Xtreme Gaming to go.
He still has TP though.
Take the Wisdom Shrine. Yeah, he can be here. Liquid are going to spot it early. Ace on the run. Bushwhack pulls him back in. And a Fisher chain stun. He's going to try and Timber Chamber their Echo Slam to ensure it's now on the other side. They do have a 2v1, the two supports, but XXS is a tanky hero to bring down. Xtreme Gaming can get both here. XXS by himself was staying alive against the two, but with the rotations coming through, Xtreme Gaming
almost got the lick. That's a big win for XG. I think that was the biggest objective for me for Liquid in this early game.
Right.
I talked about the importance of the XP, the levels on these heroes. They get neither. That just really slows down your entry into this mid game.
Yeah, the best support to get level 6 in this game has got to be Hoodwink, right? That's a game changer.
Oh yeah, you get a fast sharpshooter in here. You're going to start bringing some of these cores down. That slows the game down even further. Stacks are still going to be built up here. So all eyes on maybe 8 and 10 minute power rune. Try and get something good for this Ember. Haste or an amp damage or something that you can run into this Shaker with. If you let Nothing to Say get some cheeky kills with this Echo Slam and he gets to reset the cooldown for free, you're not going to feel good about it.
Well played. An early Bushwhack stops him from being able to go for the Slight Steal. And then they also killed the Flame Guard, and now they're going to clear through the stack. Ooh. Easy for Nothing to Say.
That feels pretty nice. As Liquid supports, they're just watching it happen. I mean, they have almost no firepower right here. A very greedy support duo in some ways.
For sure.
Like, you need a lot of time to come online with this support duo. It will pay off eventually, but you're going to pay a big price in these early skirmishes. You're just food.
Catchy lick, now the Fisher. And Boxy kicks away, rolls out. Blood Grenade is taking him down, though. Tango will out-heal it barely.
Space created.
Nisha's doing the same of trying to steal stacks on the other side with this Flame Guard, but...
Look at the pressure going to Ace, though. Ame, so farm, so high level. He's just tanking the tower. They're threatening to backstab Ace once again. This is a dead tier 1 at 9 minutes. They're going to glyph it. Okay, sure, but it's still dead here.
Yeah, this is great. It's before the Timber Saw's like a solo threat with his Chakram.
Yeah, it feels really nice to set him back like this because then you just can't enter the lane. You take his tower. He's not the greatest jungler. Like, this isn't the hero you want to jungle with. He can. But you want to be running at opponents. You want to be killing them with your ultimate.
Man, it's relentless.
Look at him go.
He's gonna let you farming over here, Ace, huh? You got any stacks? What's going on?
I like the idea. Continue to punish him. He's the lowest net worth core in this game. Doesn't have an easy way back into it because some of the stacks have to go to the Ember Spirit here.
Radiant are scanning.
Just got to farm under your tier 2. This frees up some space for XG to get in the triangle. They can rotate Ame into mid if they really want to look for some early team fights. And where's the Shaker? He's very close to Blink. Has Echo Slam back available. Maybe they wait a couple extra 100 gold on NTS. Gives you a big opening on this mid lane. Ame's going to hang around. Look for 10-minute power rune. This is costing him a little time here. Could pay off.
Nisha activates his shield rune. It gets quickly catchy lick. Now it gets silenced up. Uh-oh. Nisha, he has a remnant out, and he only needs a moment to be able to jump away to it. And that is where Mickey and Tofu, they were set up. They catch Nothing to Say at the same time as Nisha comes back in for some much-needed experience and finish off those phase boots.
Now, what a turnaround. Just getting up that cliff meant all the difference there. And then you're able to burst the Shaker down before he pops that big wand, Fairy Fire. Still a couple hundred off the Blink. Nice turnaround from Liquid. Gets to hold this mid lane. If you lose heroes there, you can just lose this tower off the catapult timing. Or at least it's going to take a lot of damage. At least you get the arrow here for free. And you get some experience for your supports. Super important here. Look at all the deep vision. Tofu's trying to free up this camp, but they got some nice wards around top that Ame can continue to play aggressively around. And the stacks are still being built up a little bit here.
And we've heard the players talk about the safe lane dominance. Now off laners currently have a hard time being able to play lane so often. And we're seeing some teams really try and exploit that more and more, right? Extend that laning phase, extend that safe lane dominance.
If you're extracting an advantage, why lead it there?
Yeah. Those kind of aggressive wards are designed to do just that. But at some point, you have to stop and think about the other side here, and that's what Ame's going to do.
Are they actually going to bring the Shaker bottom? He has this blink going
Ame
into
from the high ground.
He's still tanky, though.
He has a lot of armor, and Ame is in kind of a no man's land. A pullback geomagnetic grip plus
What
nice
a
fissure
fissure.
block. That is beautiful.
They have no detection.
Still Moonlight Shadow for a while here. The fissure's going to expire before the Moonlight Shadow does, so Xtreme Gaming get nothing for that. I can't believe that Liquid just not even blinking at these moves. No attempt to try and almost got it off the catchy lick. Now the catchy lick has been used. Nisha's like, okay, well now Flame Guard and my haste rune can go uninterrupted. The problem is damage over time. A little tough to kill Largo quickly. They do manage to get in the end, but the Echo Slam response. Now the Bushwhack. Beautiful stuff. Nisha though survives. He had enough HP and a remnant out.
And a haste rune. If he was ever at risk of dying there. Nice turnaround kill from NTS. You get that bottom tower for free anyway off of the cool Ame gate rotation, but that's a lot of recovery time for Liquid. I think they won that exchange overall. The Timber got the push out top. The Tiny didn't die. You got this Largo kill mid. You trade your Mirana, but whatever, right? If you're trading Mirana in the early game, you're kind of fine with that. This is going to progress the Ember towards either the Vessel or it looks like an early Kaya here for Nisha. Doesn't feel like this is the greatest Vessel game into the early Largo Dispel.
That is fair. If you're already struggling with Dispels, why give even more incentives for that spell?
I also just don't think there's the greatest Vessel targets here. Like, yeah, it's good against the high HP pool and the strength heroes, but you don't need it to kill the Shaker. Got to play off the chains. More points in chains will also make this game a lot easier. Gives you more time to just land some follow-up stuns. The arrow, the threat across the map goes up considerably. Liquid evened out this laning phase a lot. I think XG could have found some more openings and run away with it, but instead, this game has plateaued.
Ace trying to recover his farm, but it's going to continue to be a bit of a tough game for him because Ame went Yasha and then rushing the Ags. So we're going to see those early hypothermia frost arrow stacks that
helps a little bit.
Negates the health restoration from Timber.
Mega fat. This has got to be his dream, right?
Yeah.
I get to play Drow Ranger uncontested, absolute free farm kills and first blood on top of it. What more can you ask for?
Apparently a mid tower. That's what he wants. He's after
daring.
it.
This is
give it to him.
A very dangerous move when you're playing against the roll kick, the Tiny, the chain stump potential into the arrow.
Between the leaps and the geomagnetic grip, it's very tough to lock down any of these heroes, in particular the Mirana.
They get the D-ward at least. That's something here as they're sieging this mid tower.
And full control of the area leading to the mid tower off of Helmet Dom Creep, tanking it up. Ame delivering the damage. Okay, so all three tier 1 towers out. Xtreme Gaming still holding all three of their tier 1 towers.
A lot of space to work with.
And yet Liquid are still up in net worth. Playing the map more efficiently. If Xtreme Gaming, though, off of these objectives being taken, can close the map out, hold that 60-40 split of the map.
Well, here comes Liquid, though. They have their blink done on the Tiny, ready to rock and roll. Moonlight Shadow gives you a free smoke. They're just going to try and probably send it straight into the triangle here where they know some stacks are being built up.
Got to scan on to...
That dissuaded them.
Okay. On the high ground. Yeah, they don't want to stumble into that.
The risk of going in there is if NTS is doing big stacks and you jump into him and he just echoes you, you basically get insta-gibbed.
Sure, yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
I can see it. You go for the Centaur instead, but he's got this Warpine Raider that really protects him because it could tank the arrow. It can't just slight chains the arrow.
It's a big deal in a game like this. Again, you have to find cheeky ways to be able to shove these waves without feeding the bad kills. I will say I don't think Xtreme Gaming's lineup uses these towers being down the best. The Drow has to continue to farm in safer spots. It's not like a really aggressive carry that's going to, you know, I'm pushing in your tier 2 top.
Yeah.
Like some Chaos Knight wants to or something.
I think Centaur uses it decently well, but that's just because he shoves the lane in so much, but this helps.
Okay with Dom. I think the thing is with Timber in this game, he can die.
And again, make a jump in initiation, and Geomagnetic Grip is there to save. You can definitely see Liquid is already planned out a very reactive game, and it's Xtreme, where we're the ones who are going to be making more moves. Is that good for them, though? Right now, the Drow Ranger is so close to an item that helps him farm even faster in the Aghanim Scepter.
I don't know if they're making moves this game. I think this is a farm game for XG.
Yeah, okay, so another 90-minute game. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're in for the long haul here. Now, this game could accelerate at around the 30-minute mark for Liquid, like we saw in that other game where they played this pretty much exact lineup. That game was also clunky to start because the supports needed the levels to get going, but then once it started going, that game accelerated quite quickly.
Yeah.
So do not count that type of play style out. If Liquid get one pick off in this game, it opens up a lot. You can just chain that into pickoffs across the map. Suddenly you get a team wipe into a Tormentor, some nonsense like this.
And they do have plenty of pickoff threat. They could do Slight Chains into Arrow. They could do Avalanche Initiation into Arrow. Timbersaw himself can sometimes get solo kills.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gotta get some combo breaks in this game if you're XG. That's what I'm thinking about long term. Not necessarily like full Wind Waker Aeon disc. I think it's too early to think about that, but
some early Glimmers and Force Staffs.
Yeah, like Glimmer is pretty nice, Force Staff's nice. The Lick replacement is super nice in this game to dodge follow-up stuns. A Gust Interrupt, like if you're taking the fight and Ame can join you, just being able to Gust Interrupt, Hurricane Pike somebody else. All these little things can make a huge difference against these chain stun lineups, especially when you show to push out waves. Like Ame shows mid, he pushes this wave out, X-Nova's right there. If he gets jumped, you're going to lick him out. You can take that fight.
Look at the stack. An amp damage showing on Nisha right now.
Really
gaining are super stacked in this mid lane. Nothing to say might try and follow this up.
Oh, he
but
got
here comes the Avalanche
Largo.
Initiation with a toss between the two of them. There is the Bushwhack to stop this Tiny with the Echo Send. They throw everything they have at this carry, and he's still not dead. Meanwhile, Xtreme Gaming have lost two, and Nisha has a free game to play. He's going to run down more. The Magnetize, yeah, and the Boulder. That'll finish off another one. And Ace spots XXS, and Fisher slows him down. XXS, I think he's away. So 1 for 3 exchange, baiting out the Ember Spirit, and Xtreme Gaming did kind of bite it down on that one. Mickey getting a free wraparound through the left-hand side thanks to a big smoke. They smoked on the bottom side of the map and wrapped all the way around to hit him from that angle.
Really nice entry for him. That's a bait by both teams. XG are ready to lick this Drow out of danger, but Mickey, he makes an excellent play. Find the Largo, toss him into the same chain stun, get 2 for 1. Does pay a price with his life, which is big, slows this game down. But as you said, free fight for Nisha. You're always going to clean up here. The Ember will always give you that +1 kill. Delayed the Ags coming out as it got finished. Wall, Ame was dead. There goes his perfect Drow game.
What's interesting is they didn't quite manage to get this tower for it, but Liquid is still looking for pickoffs around this area.
And here's where it can snowball.
That one.
Like, you start bleeding, and Liquid can just open up these wounds. Exacerbate your problems. The Largo can only babysit so many heroes in this game. And as we saw, that's not also a guarantee. Stampede can only bail you out of a little bit here. Like, you can't Stampede for someone who's chains. You need Lotus Orbs, you need Glimmer Capes in this game. This is where the game is really going to slow down for Xtreme Gaming. I expect to see Liquid build a net worth lead here. The threat across the map's a lot higher. You have Mirana pushing out waves, farming the extra jungle camps. Did you just not see him? Okay.
Oh, Mickey. He went around. If he had just gone down the ramp, he would have run right into the Earthshaker, which would have been a dream pickup, because now the next stop is like picking off Xtreme Gaming heroes and not letting them get to BKBs, right?
For sure. You want to abuse the fact that XG are not as mobile around
He
the map.
came back. He went through the gate, then he came back. And now Mickey finally shows himself, sees the opportunity, and only needs a little bit, a momentary pause for them to be able to get that kill.
And 1 turns into 2,
Even
turns into more. Suddenly Boxy's on a killing spree. The map is starting to feel a lot smaller. Great vision out right now for Liquid as well. This is the scariest point in this game for Xtreme Game. They cannot afford to bleed too many kills in this time period. And it's very easy to bleed kills against this lineup. Another great rotation. They're going to find some heroes. Force a Stampede.
Stampede will run, but the arrow, beautiful setup right up the staircase. And Timber Chain to finish him off. Now XXS has already used his Stampede. If they can get close enough, Slight Chains, can they get close enough? They do. Now with the follow-up damage of the Timber Saw, it's made pretty easy. FY can do nothing to stop it. All he has is one more tree to the Whirling Death, and now FY is going to die as well. Harpoon tossed back in. Mickey, you already see Mickey with this Harpoon Blink Dagger build. You know what he wants to do. He wants to toss heroes back, pick them off one at a time.
XG not respecting what's happening around the map right now. Getting caught in the Liquid chase down. This is exactly what happened in the previous game they played this lineup. You cannot bleed bad kills. Liquid are going to run the entire map. This lineup has infinite chase, infinite stun, infinite catch. Yeah, this could have just been like, I lose my Shaker top, yeah, that sucks, whatever. Instead, you effectively get a team wipe here, and get straight into that 20-minute Tormentor.
It's accelerating the game so much, this Shadow Blade is almost done for the Tiny after he just completed Harpoon.
He's a massive threat in this game. The Timber's top network. After the roughest laning phase, just like that, let's give Ace a little space. He'll farm his way back quickly.
Now he is still susceptible to this physical damage until he gets the Shivas.
This is a wild smoke.
Deep into it. Off of the Tormentor being taken. Now, not to go for the Timber Saw.
You're bringing Ame into the smoke. You better make it connect on something.
Damn straight. Mickey,
that's the best target.
That's a much easier kill for sure. He may have some armor. They do have the stuns. Apparently not enough to be able to stop him from harpooning away, getting some distance. Finally, they'll finish him off. But this took a long time to get the kill. And Liquid are throwing all their heroes around here. The arrow lands onto Ame off the chains. Fisher tries to stop these two, but they're caught. There's too many Liquid heroes surrounding them. Ame, they pop the Stampede, but Ace is there. Blinks in, Whirling Death to finish the job.
I think you had to instantly TP out of that kill.
Yeah.
Again, you have to respect the map mobility, the chase down potential from this lineup. You cannot expect Liquid to just sit on their heels here and do nothing about their Tiny going down. It is a nice hero to pick up off the map. You delay the Shadow Blade, buys you a little space to push the waves out, but you're losing your Drow. So who's actually pushing these waves out? Not the heroes you want. You need Dispels. This is the biggest thing right now. To deal with the chains, you can at least reposition a little bit and maybe turn some of these fights around. Manta, Lotus Orb, Glimmer Cape, Force Staff. You have to find a way to get there. They have a single Force Staff right now in terms of total Dispel and utility.
Yeah, even like the pickoff game is pretty intense, but now a level 18 Timber Saw, level 3 Chakram with Blink Shivas. Every fight is just him going deep into Extreme Gaming's side, popping that Shivas, tagging heroes, stopping Blink Daggers, getting vision for the follow-up. That's going to be rough to play.
I think conceptually this is the game Shaker struggles in, because you're just not going to get that straight 5-on-5 fight you want with the Echo Slam.
Yeah, they've got 4 hyper-mobile heroes.
Yes, it's really difficult to get a clump in this game. It's very difficult to get the fight you want with Vision against Mirana ult. It's just a pick-off-oriented game. Shaker doesn't offer you that much single-target DPS this early on.
Yeah, it may be like really early if he had played off of the Blink Dagger and Chant Totem kills, then maybe that could snowball, but at this point, he just has to get BKB. Same goes with Ame.
They can just dive him here if they want.
It's getting behind the tier 2. They're going to run right into him. And got the silence on X-Nova too. Beautifully played by Boxy. Even if he does catchy lick and heal, it's not enough to save the Drow Ranger, but they made that kill that much quicker that now they can run down the Frog as well. Underneath the tier 3s, Nisha collects.
No response from XG. They're starting to recognize the situation here, which is like, if we get going on, just try and get the other lanes out. The situation is rough right now as Liquid just soaking all the farm up off the map. A very early BKB on the Ember guarantees you dives. Kind of look for anything, anywhere. I still do not understand how Ace is so fat in this game. But man, he is almost level 20 now. Great Timber game too. You're only really worried about the Drow, but you have displacement spells to throw this Drow into the Buzzsaw. Pretty surprised that Ame skipped Manta here. Feels like you need it. Just for some of the Ghost Shove and the Dispel. Feels really good here. I mean, the Dispel against the Earth Spirit's nice too. It's going to go straight BKB. It's going to be a while to get there.
If they get to that BKB window, though, a lot of the damage goes out the window for Liquid during that time.
It
right?
does.
It's like they have a ton of magic damage.
Assuming you get the team fight. Like,
right, you're afraid that it's
BKB.
never going to be a 5-on-5. It's always going to be some sort of Liquid pick-off.
You're never going to be able to start the fight on your terms. In theory, you're going to be afraid of showing on the waves. BKB doesn't necessarily help you shove the map because you're afraid of the 100-0 chain stun.
Right.
Would help you just force a Roshan or something if you have the confidence to do that.
Yeah, right now, with
I don't know about
11,000
that,
net worth lead, it definitely feels like Roche is more for Liquids to take.
For sure. They're eyeing it up. They might just do it here.
I do think that Liquid is maybe similar problem to the past. I don't know how willing they are to go get high ground against Xtreme if they're up as 5. Now, that's easily solved by the fact that they have so many ways to get pickoffs.
Pickoffs are the high ground for them with this lineup.
Right.
You squeeze the map so hard that eventually you get 1 or 2 kills, you go high ground, it's easy. You have tanky-ass heroes too. This is a very tanky lineup. They don't have sustain, but they have insane just raw HP pools.
Is there any way that you, like, he hasn't completed Hurricane Pike. Are you holding that to go Hydra's Breath and have your eggs for, like, double up on the anti-tank?
It's pretty all in.
Yeah.
You have very little survivability at that point. Maybe he thinks he needs the damage in this game.
Maybe that's why he gets BKB. He's playing more for a stand-to-deliver style.
It's possible. And look at these heroes. You're going to need damage from somebody. Quick smoke. This could land.
Yeah, hoping to catch something on the waves clashing together while simultaneously meeting Ame. Ame does get jumped here. Tried to hit him with the avalanche, but a force staff got away for the arrow. And now Liquid are a little bit outnumbered for now. They need this fast kill on Mickey as fast as they can get it anyway.
He just won't die.
Riding down in the trees, and they finally get him, but that's just the Aegis. And now they have to retreat. It's a stampede. Everybody out for themselves. Ame gets spotted. They got him on the avalanche. Foxy rolled past him, and Mickey delivers the stun that will kill the carry of Xtreme Gaming.
It's the last guy you want to lose in that scenario.
Yeah.
All it costs you is a tiny Aegis, which, again, you're probably not forcing high ground with that anyway, so who cares?
Liquid playing faster and faster, picking up the tempo now, going through the gate, seeing if they can catch on the other side of the map. Nothing to say, knows when to play conservatively, though.
You can just park this Timber alone. He controls so much real estate right now. Ace just sniped him.
Oh, nasty.
1,000 damage instantly. A little extra from the Stormcrafter. Beautiful kill right there on that squirrel in his base. This shows you how little Liquid fear the XG threat right now.
Ace runs him over. Makes roadkill out of FY.
There's another Force Staff. It's a little something here.
Use as many as you can get. Octarine level 22. Timbersaw almost hitting that 20K net worth mark. Man. And he's going to get it very quickly off of being able to play solo on this side of the map. He's just grabbing a bunch of creeps. Meanwhile, Liquid are hitting the tier 2. Totally unafraid of Xtreme Gaming.
And XG are afraid to get out on the map.
Yeah.
They don't have the vision anymore. They don't have the lane control. The second you show, you have to get the hell out of there. You just don't know where these Liquid cores are. I mean, they have 3 heroes sitting in their base right now. And we're 30 minutes in. Effectively 5. If you count this Drow running back to the base as in the base. There's a defensive BKB. This map is entirely the Liquids right now. If XG don't break this hold, they are going to fall massively behind.
And you said it early. Xtreme Gaming had to get a lot off the laning phase and snowball that. And while they did get a lead off the laning phase, they weren't able to snowball it very effectively. Liquid draw things out until they hit their window, and now they're steamrolling the game. And they will have the net worth lead until Xtreme Gaming basically wins 1 or 2 big team fights. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition.
They're going to get Ame BKB and probably just smoke out and hope that they can land this on something.
Yeah, you can't be locked inside your base at 30 minutes, right? That's just, you'll just be out-farmed.
Quick smoke across the map. They're going to send the Tiny in. Should find something here.
Yeah, spots Largo. Hit the stomp on a Tofu. Unfortunately, the multi-shot had already been used, and FY misses the sharpshooter. XXS is made a whole lot squishier by the presence of Ace. They're going to keep chasing after him. He's low enough, makes the commitment. Nisha got him, now spots FY here as well. Tier 3s are no defense. The Drow Ranger is no defense. Liquid, they seem unstoppable at this point.
They're just breaking them this game. Look, it's just sitting outside their fountain. It's like, respawn faster, please, so I can kill you again. That'd be very nice, thank you. When you're scanning enemy fountain, you know you're in a pretty good position.
Dire's middle tower.
30-minute high ground. No Aegis, no problem. They get the glyph. What is the teamfight response here? They're trying to get a refresher on the Shaker?
Yeah, they're giving up the lane to get this refresher.
Is that even going to be enough damage? I guess if it buys enough time for the Drow to sit there and hit some people.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost more about the chain stun. Just allow the Drow Ranger. And if you do manage to kill that one person, they've got maxed out hypothermia stacks, then the burst of damage that happens off of that.
Dire are scanning.
Still needs more gold, though. And it is a tier 3 gone. That's a glyph gone. They are all TPing top to kick NTS out of here. He still needs another 400 gold. The chase is insane. You might have to BKB TP here.
Boxy. Oh, if he got over that cliff there, that might have been enough to make it nothing to say. Uses BKB. It still is. BKB used. Mission success for Liquid.
Amp damage sitting in the bottom river as well.
Look at Tofu just immediately leaping to this point, knowing Xtreme Gaming, okay, they saw heroes in the top left part of the map. They are going to try and push out to this triangle, and that might be an opportunity. Maybe an opportunity for a pick off an aggressive four-step into Mickey. That was super sick, Tofu.
Just controlling so much space on his own. Actually, you do not want to go up that high ground. Once more, I think they've been stuck in their base for at least 10 minutes now.
Yeah, basically.
They don't have the heroes to push the waves. I think this was always going to be the problem draft-wise in this game if you did not gain a big enough lead. So now you're all in on this Earthshaker refresher. Just send it. You can't even get the gold. He's farmed like one camp in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with this kind of playstyle is you're all in when you hit that timing. But if Liquid just control the map for another 10 minutes, you're so starved. I mean, we've seen this happen with Falcons so many times. Some team is locked inside the base. They go all in for some sort of big item, big play. And if Falcons just never give them the opportunity.
Exactly. You don't have to ever give this Shaker a chance to echo slam your entire squad. You're continuing to build a net worth lead here. This is very efficient.
So Xtreme Gaming, they have to take a risk. They have to go out there at some point with this refresher. Level 20 as well with the echo damage. It is a big burst of damage. Is it enough to deal with the Timber Saw or the Tiny by itself? Definitely not.
This Timber Saw's a heart and 4,600 HP, dude. I don't. You could echo him twice. I don't think he's gonna feel it.
Here comes that smoke. It would have been perfectly timed 5 seconds earlier. Could have maybe gotten here with a Tormentor with some of these heroes already low. Would have been beautiful. As it stands,
still
Tormentor's going to die. They're going to get some heals up. Liquid don't go anywhere. Nobody TPs away.
Showed Ame
up, and they're going to smoke themselves. They chase. Xtreme Gaming. They retreat. Back up to the high ground. They know the positioning is so important here. Anything that could give nothing to say an advantage. They try and take the outpost, but they get hit by a two-man avalanche immediately from Mickey. It doesn't even matter if you hit the Echo Slam at this point in time. Ame is almost already dead with his BKB. A Harpoon pulling back in X-Nova, and they're still going to chase after this Drow Ranger. The BKB expires, and Boxy kicks him to death.
Liquid just dismantling them in this game 3. Not
no
even
way
close.
out, FY. All the way back behind your throne. The tier 3s haven't even been claimed yet, and what is nothing to say to do, man? And the way that started was just so terrible. I thought they knew that Liquid was chasing after them, but they clearly did not.
There's a lot of little... If that's your one big opportunity to try and swing the momentum in this game, one, you showed the Drow clearing the wave, which they could have seen, and then you're double-clicking the outpost, which is telegraphing a lot of info. You're just assuming they're not going to notice this. You got scanned regardless. They're always going to jump in there. You can always just jump pop BKBs. What are you afraid of in terms of that turnaround? And catching Drow is just too easy.
Well, you got a flamethrower, a Timber Saw, level 25.
He's a monster this game.
A mid lane of barracks down. I mean, at this point, as epic as Game 1 and Game 2 are, this is going to be Xtreme Gaming going out of EWC with a whimper.
They have a gem up now, at least. How many smokes do they even have left? They have one on the Largo. That looks like about it. Your best chance right now as XG is if Liquid force the high ground and somehow just botch that move and clump terribly. That would require a lot here. You always have that geomagnetic grip to bail you out of trouble anyway.
I'm surprised Liquid aren't just chilling a little bit longer. Get the AC
timber up
on Mickey.
Again, as long as you don't clump, I don't think it's too scary.
That's true.
You can't show the drow to harass anybody. You're just going to get rolled on, chained, tossed in, arrowed. Not that slow, to be honest.
Nothing to say. You be waiting for the rest of this game to find perfect blink echo.
Death by flamethrower.
Even just that remnant is just annoying for Xtreme.
There's BKB on the Centaur. They got the triple BKB.
There's jump forward on Ame. Force used the BKB already. Now Nisha did jump in, but they couldn't get the gust on him fast enough. So he didn't even have to expend his BKB.
Ame is just so terrified with these. If I don't instant BKB, I'm going to get 100 to 0'd.
Yeah. I'm surprised nothing to say didn't try for the Fisher on the Ember Spirit. Right? Like, you had to punish Nisha one way or the other there. Whether it was hitting the gust and forcing him to BKB, or maybe getting the Fisher, follow-up Echo Slam, try and burst him down, something.
Here's the real question. You have to smoke and contest this Roshan.
Well, you're already kind of too late to the party here. Especially if they're going to wrap the long way around, because if they go straight through, Nisha's here to block it, but they go all the way around, they're going to be too slow to get to the Roshan in time.
They're not even confident.
Aegis is already going to be here.
No BKB on Ame, no team fight. That is an easy Aegis for Liquid. They're going to get some more wards on top of it. Give the Aegis to the Tiny. He can go up the high ground now. And there's only one lane left.
Yeah, just get the AC with an Aegis. They can't kill you very quickly. You're going to kill the buildings pretty damn quickly. And you have an extra life to back it all up. And you have geomagnetic grip with the pull, the shard he has.
Of course. Always Boxy waiting in the wings.
Yeah,
Something goes wrong.
We saw it early game, but like mid to late game is where Boxy makes that super broken. He goes, he pulls you, then he kicks you back. So it's like, they're dealing with two different kind of displacements here. They're dealing with Tiny offensively displacing heroes, and then you've got Boxy defensively displacing heroes, which is not the kind of game Drow Ranger wants to play.
Not without an Aegis, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
Not 10,000 behind this Timbersaw.
And 30,000 behind Team Liquid as a whole.
There's your AC. Probably the last item you were waiting for in this game. He has an amp damage in the bottle as well. This Tiny is smacking hard. Send down that top lane. Force XG to team fight you. If you don't give him the clump, it looks almost impossible to win the team fight.
An early 6-slotted Timbersaw. And an AC Tiny timing with 3.5 minutes left on the Aegis is going to be one of the biggest power spikes of Team Liquid. Xtreme Gaming going to have to find a way to hold here. Somehow the Gust timing was pretty good. He didn't want to use the BKB on Ame. And he won't have to yet. Catchy Look helps him get out. So they got something, and the Echo Slam is going to be put onto the Tiny here with the Fisher hitting many of the backline heroes to refresh, and it finished off the Tiny one. But they need more heroes off of that because there was just the Aegis. They expended every bit of Nothing to Say's kit twice, and they got an Aegis. They got Tofu too, but of the other real threats in this game, Nisha and Ace, they are pretty much untouched.
Unable to capitalize with the other damage sources. Might be enough to hold the high ground here.
Here comes Nisha. Oh, what a jump there with the Remnant. That's double support kills. And now Ame is almost dead off of Mickey's jump through. Nisha, very happy with that jump. He's going to get a buyback, at least one out of Xtreme Gaming, and they're going to take this full lane. I mean, there's nothing they could really do to stop it. Nothing to say. He doesn't have the BKB, so he's being tagged by damage. He can't really get the blink in. Not that he has an Echo Slam anyway. Somehow XXS manages to hit a stomp onto the Ember Spirit. Couldn't get the immediate follow-up. And whether it's the flamethrower or it's the Tiny hits, one way or the other, got the toss back onto Ame. He force taps forward as best as he can. And a catchy lick to try and deliver him to safety. But the Barracks, they can't do the same kind of retreat. Nor can this Earthshaker. Once he's in, he's dead without his BKB. The buildings will not stay standing for long. Mickey with another beautiful toss back into the avalanche off the buybacks. This is their only hope. They've got the hypothermia stacks onto Mickey, building up, and got the BKB, turns back around and smacks down Ame.
Too tanky.
And that's it. Xtreme Gaming are out.
Oh, what a series.
Team Liquid will hold on, survive just a bit more in this survival stage of EWC.